What's up, Met fans, and welcome back to Talking Mets here, Rob. Game number 4 of the East versus West Showdown, Mets versus Giants. Welcome, everybody, to Talking Mets here, Rob, and welcome to another live stream during another Mets game during the season for the 2022 season. Welcome, everybody. Let's get this series win today from the Giants. Yesterday was an unfortunate loss. I thought the Mets could have played better. A lot of chances that we had with runners on base, we either shot ourselves in the foot or didn't get that big hit that we needed to get closer and closer when the Giants put up that 5 spot. And the Mets didn't get as close as they lost 5-2 yesterday in game 3. And today, guys, we do have a nice pitching matchup, an interesting pitching matchup with DeSclafani and Carlos Carrasco. So we're going to go over the pitching matchup. We're going to go over the Mets lineup, and we're going to talk about today's game and a little bit about yesterday as well, about certain things that I thought should have been a little bit different. And we will go into that a little bit. So we only got a half hour until game time. So we got to get everything in before the game starts. So if I do miss some of your comments, I apologize. But in a half hour, it's a lot to talk about. Within that 30 minutes before the game starts, Mets versus Giants, game 4 for getaway day for both teams. The Mets are going to Arizona after this series. So it would be nice for the Mets to take another series, and will be 4 series in a row, and they won every series so far this year. And that's exactly what you want from your baseball team. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the pitching matchup. I'm going to put it up really quickly. Just give me a second. Alrighty. All right, guys. So the pitching matchup for today is Anthony DeSclafani against Carlos Carrasco. DeSclafani has a 4.32 ERA, 9 strikeouts, and no win-loss record as of yet. Carlos Carrasco is still looking for his first win for the 2022 season. He has 12 strikeouts and a 0.84 ERA. Now, we've seen in this series exactly how good the Giants are. And not only do the Giants have power, but they can also beat you with small ball, bunting guys, stealing bases, manufacturing runs by sac flies, just getting regular base hits. They didn't hit the ball necessarily hard yesterday, but they actually did put the ball in spot, and they also made the defense make plays. Exactly what the Mets offense have done so far this season. So when it comes to that, we basically are looking in the mirror about what teams see from the Mets and what the Mets see from the Giants. It's very similar. They're very good pitching staff. Obviously, it looks like they damn sure have a better bullpen than us. But the lineup is very similar. They have like 1 or 2 guys that can take you deep. But other than that, these guys are singles and doubles hitters who put the bat on the ball, high on base guys. And that's exactly what they did yesterday. And it's exactly what they did in game 1 before the Mets came back. They didn't get a lot of home runs. They manufactured runs, what the Mets lineup does as well, and which they both do very well. Unfortunately, what the Mets can't do is fall behind early again and fight your way back. You know, we could have easily lost game 1 when we had numerous chances in game 1 before Lindor got the game-winning hit in game 1. Game 2 was basically, you put your feet up and you relax because Scherzer had that game in the bag basically ever since he threw the first pitch, it seemed. Yesterday was just bad. We didn't have Buck Showalter managing the game because he had a procedure done. He should be back today. But there was certain things that I did not like about the game, and we're going to get into that right now. So the first thing I didn't like, when the Mets had an opportunity to pinch hit with all the lefties they have on the bench, they pinched hit, and I'm going to look at it right here. They pinched hit Robinson Cano in the 8th inning for J.D. Davis because they threw a right-hander in. They had Rogers in there, who was that sidearming guy that's really actually really, really good in Rogers. And, you had Rogers on the ropes. You had 3 consecutive hits. You already got a run scored. You have him on the ropes. The problem is that when you had Jeff McNeil and Dominic Smith on the bench, where you had first and third in this spot. Excuse me. Yes, first and third in this spot. And you pinch it Robinson Cano before you pinch it Dominic Smith or Jeff McNeil. That did not make sense to me. You know, I understand what they were. I guess I understand what they were talking about. What they were trying to do, because Rogers doesn't throw hard, so they probably thought that Cano can turn on his fastball that was around 84, 85 miles an hour, and his slider is basically a wheelhouse type of pitch that is in the wheelhouse of left-handed batters low and inside. Maybe that was the idea they had with Robinson Cano. But when you had Dominic Smith and Jeff McNeil on the bench, you have to pinch hit Jeff McNeil and Dominic Smith in that spot. But no, they waited until Guillorme came up right after Cano, and they pinched hit for Smith. That didn't make no sense to me. I just did not understand that. It made no sense to me. J.D. Davis can't hit a fastball, so I understand you pinch hit from, but why would anybody think? Now, this could have been a call that Buck Showalter would have made anyway with Cano, but when I saw that, I'm like, you got one out with two men on. Why wouldn't you put a hot Jeff McNeil, who's been hitting very well this year, or even a Dominic Smith who showed the day prior that he got a couple of hits and looked like he's getting his offense together? Why wouldn't you put them in? Instead, you put a struggling Cano who can't catch up to anything, can't turn on anything. And what did he do? He hit a slow roller to second base and did nothing. That made no sense. That pissed me off. It basically settled down Rogers, and then he got Dominic Smith, who hit the ball hard to the left side, but right at Wilmer Flores. So, unfortunately for the Mets, they had numerous opportunities. There was odd moments in the game where I thought pinch hitting situations like the Cano one was a bad idea. But again, the Mets are still 9-4. You know, if somebody said you took the first two and you lost game 3, most Met fans would take that and walk away. But we have today where it's before the series started, we talked about, hey, wouldn't it be nice if we just split the series? You know, it's not too bad. You know, really good teams splitting the series and then you go on your merry way. Yeah, but when you win the first 2 games and then you lose the last 2 games, it doesn't feel as good if you split with one of the teams that should be one of the better teams in baseball. You can't do that. It doesn't feel right. So today is actually a really big game, in my opinion, for the Mets. If the Mets win today, they're 10-4 going for 3 games in Arizona, which is one of the worst teams in the league. And you know what? You can get fat off them Arizona Diamondbacks. And you know what? You might be able to sweep them, and you're going to St. Louis next week, and you'll be 13-4 going into St. Louis. And you know what? If that's the first series we lose of the year, at least we know if you lose 2 out of 3, you're still 14-6. And that's a great start going into the month of May when you start playing a lot of your division guys. You got the Phillies, you got the Braves. So that's something that we have to look at with the Mets. So it's very important today to get this win today, I think, because after today, you're going to have Tyler McGill. You know, so it's important to know, well, excuse me, you're going to have David Peterson pitch the first game in Arizona, and then you're going to get your 1-2 and Tyler McGill and Scherzer back on the mound again in Arizona. And then you're going to most likely you're going to need an extra starter. Actually, they were talking about. So it's a possibility that Taijuan Walker might be that fill-in pitcher, and then David Peterson will just go to the bullpen, or Trevor Williams is going to get a start in Arizona. That's probably more likely of what they're going to do. So, again, win the series against the Giants. It's going to make Met fans happy. It's going to get us giddy going into Arizona, where we should sweep them. Now, it's hard to sweep any team, home or on the road. So you have to understand the fact that when these series, especially this series, when this was basically a test that we talked about when we were playing the Phillies, that, this lineup's going to test us and our rotation, and we came out with 2 out of 3, which is pretty damn good. Here, we talked about it before the series, splitting this series, we would probably be okay with that. But when you win the first 2 games, it kind of sucks that you would lose the last 2. But again, I feel pretty confident today that the Mets are going to pull out the win. I think there's going to be about 5 or 6 runs scored on each side. You saw what happened. Bassett got hit by the Giants. McGill got hit by the Giants. And I don't expect Carlos Carrasco to have under 1 ERA. He's probably going to get hit today, especially the at-bats that the Giants have put together in this series. They've been going after pitches early in counts. They've been going after a lot of fastballs. They're not waiting for the breaking balls to come or the off-speed pitches to come. They're ready to look and hit that fastball. Basically, they try to get the pitch count up of the starters, similar to what the Mets have been doing this season so far. So what do the Mets have to do in this game? Well, clearly, they got to score runs. And I think they will. You're facing a guy who has over a 4 ERA in DeSclafani. You got to take advantage of it, and we cannot keep on coming from behind. Because it's hard enough coming from behind and winning in game 1 like we did. Yesterday, it was an uphill climb the whole game. Rodon was just mowing us down. I mean, he barely threw any breaking balls or off-speed pitches. It was like 92% fastballs, and the Mets could not touch Rodon. And until the bullpen came in where the Mets had a little bit of a chance, they didn't do it. Now, again, it's really hard to think that you're going to sweep the Giants. It's not that easy, considering that they're one of the better teams in baseball. It's just not happening. Is it possible? Yeah, of course. It's possible we could have got swept, but we didn't. But with Carlos Carrasco on the mound, with us going to Arizona, I do think it's the perfect situation for the Mets to get this series here today and then get even fatter against Arizona going into the Cardinal series next week. I think it'll be perfect for the Mets to do that. It makes so much sense where we can actually have a couple of more wins, another series wins that we haven't lost a series if we win today. Now, granted, if we lose today, we technically didn't lose a series, but we also didn't win it either. Again, it would feel better when you take 3 out of 4, especially if you win the first 2, considering that you had Bassett yesterday where, a lot of people thought, hey, the Mets are going to get a chance right here to win the first 3. And then, we'll go from there with game 4. And it's like a crapshoot. So again, Anthony DeSclafani for the Giants, Carlos Carrasco for the Mets. That is your pitching matchup for today. And the lineups for today for both teams is this. I'm going to put the lineups I'm going to put the Mets lineup on the bottom in a second, right after we go over it. So, for the Giants, it is Mike Yastrzemski playing right field, batting first. Brandon Belt batting second, playing first base. Darren Ruff batting third, DHing. Jock Peterson cleaning up, playing left field. Brandon Crawford batting fifth, playing shortstop. Wilmer Flores playing third base, batting sixth. Tyro Estrada batting seventh, playing second base. Steven Duggar playing center field, batting 8th, and the catcher, Kurt Casale, batting 9th. For our New York Mets today against DeSclafani, Brandon Nimmo in center field, batting first. Francisco Lindor is the DH today, batting second. Jeff McNeil batting third, playing second base. Pete Alonso in the cleanup spot, batting first. Eduardo Escobar playing third base, batting fifth. Mark Canha back in the lineup again, playing left field, batting sixth. Travis Jankowski playing right field, batting seventh. Luis Guillorme playing shortstop, batting eighth. And Tomas Nido is catching, batting ninth. As you can see, guys, because Lindor is the DH today, Guillorme is playing shortstop, and you also see somebody missing. That is Starlin Marte. I think yesterday with Marte stealing that base when you have Lindor and possibly Alonso up, and you had Lindor up with the tie and run at the plate, it wasn't a smart move. Again, it would have been genius if he would have made it, but he didn't. It wasn't a very smart. It was look. I always like players to be aggressive, but in that spot right there, unless you have a pretty good read on the pitcher, I wouldn't have gone in that situation, but he did. And granted, if he would have made it, we would have thought he was a genius. So, unfortunately, it didn't work out for us, unfortunately. Yeah, let me get this guy out of here. Sorry, guys. I just saw that now. So that is the lineup right now. So I'm going to put the lineup at the bottom of the screen, guys. So if anybody missed what's the lineup, it's right on the bottom of your screen along with your pitching matchup for today. Excuse me. Let me just fix that 1 second. All right. There we go. All right, guys. So I'm going to say what up to everybody in the chat right now. And we will go from there. Joseph, what's up, man? Joseph, you got the stickers. I'm glad you like them. Ron says, good day to end the homestand and a win. That would be nice. Let's go, Mets. It is a very nice day out. It's a little cool, but it's a better day than the last 2 days. Steven says hello. Plaxi says hello. If anybody wants that sweater for sale from Steven, just message, just tell him in the chat and you can exchange information. Plaxi says, we're going to be real honest with the lineup today. I don't think we will get this win. 7-9 are not going to be valid at all. Yeah, but you know what? I actually think that Nito has a better shot of getting a base hit than James McCann, even though McCann did get a hit yesterday. I mean, I'm so sick of James McCann. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I'd rather see Nito every day, and I'll take my chances with Nito. Guillermo, he hasn't been the same. He hasn't been the same guy at the plate. You know, I'm not expecting him to hit doubles, triples, home runs, but he's a guy that works the count, fouls off a lot of pitches, gets that base hit the other way. He just hasn't been that good this year. Worries me a little bit. Travis Jankowski is Travis Jankowski. He's in for defensive purposes. Again, they're clearly looking to get more defense on the field with Carrasco on the mound. So, again, it's a Sunday lineup. It seems like that. It's getaway day as well. There's a couple of guys you're probably not going to see because of day game after a night game. Clearly, you're not going to see McCann. I think they just want to give Marte a day off. He's been playing every day. So they just wanted to give him a day off. Again, these guys are on the bench if needed later on in a big pinch hitting situation. Todd, how you doing? Ken, how you doing? Yeah, Cano is garbage either way. It really doesn't matter. Oh, Cano versus JD. Yeah, exactly. They're garbage. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You guys were here when I talked about it. I know JD Davis was gonna have a bounce back year. His wrist is healthy. He completely turned me off since he's been playing. Now he hasn't get a lot of playing time, but I mean, you can't catch up to a fastball. That's a problem. And he that's all they've been throwing him. His fastball's right down the middle. He couldn't even touch it. So it's like, you know what? At this point, what are the Mets going to do? The Mets are going to have decisions come April 1st. Got to knock down that roster to 28 to 26. Is JD Davis still going to be on this team? Is Cano still going to be on this team? Is Sean Reed-Foley going to be on this team? That's 3 guys right there. I think at this point, I don't think the Mets are going to get rid of Cano after May 1st. I just don't think so. They might give him another month or 2, but I think JD Davis might be on his way out. I don't know if the Mets are going to trade him for something, even if it's a bag of balls. They might do that. And then, you know what? I honestly think that Mark Vientos deserves a shot to get on this team. He's raked in the minors last year. He's doing decent this year. Get him up here. I'd rather see him and take a chance on Vientos than rather seeing JD Davis swinging at fastballs and couldn't even touch them. So we'll see. But can I agree? With Marte off, I think it's a good day off. It seemed like he was pushing it a little bit and being more aggressive than I think he even would have been. I just think that he was mentally drained. You saw Nimmo after he got caught stealing at second. Marte looked like he was so mad at himself, like he thought he was going to steal that base, and he was so down on himself because he hurt the team. I just think he just needs a mental day off, and can I agree? I think it's a perfect day off. And Lindor giving him a day off at shortstop just to hit. He's been hitting well. I think that's perfect. I think it's a lineup where you expected a similar lineup like this today, in my opinion. I wasn't expecting every single person to be in this lineup because you know what? In Arizona, put your lineups out there, get them ready to go and beat the hell out of the Arizona Diamondbacks. But make sure you take care of business today. And this lineup is good enough to beat up on DeSclafani. I mean, it is. So, if the Mets don't score today, it's on the offense. It's not on anybody else but them. So let's hope the Mets do some damage on DeSclafani. Webbs, what's up, buddy? Yeah, Ken, it's not good. Even Dominic Smith. And I know Dominic Smith. He got robbed by Wilmer Flores. He hit a bullet right to Wilmer Flores that could have probably would have scored one, possibly two. I mean, J.D. Davis, James McCann, these guys, their swing is so long, they can't catch up to these fastballs, and they're right down the middle. I just don't understand it. You're a major leaguer who can't hit a fastball. That's insane. McCann's hitting under the Mendoza line, and he has enough games to warrant him seeing how good he's going to do. And once again, James McCann is a backup catcher. For all you Met fans who were killing me, and there were some of you who were like, oh, James McCann's going to be fine. He's going to be good. He is a backup catcher that Sandy Alderson gave him 4 years, $40 million to, who did not deserve it because he had a really good 2020, which, let's be honest, Conforto had a 2020. Where is he? He might be playing for the Long Island Ducks soon. Dominic Smith had a great 2020, but yet still is hitting terribly this year so far, even though we got a few hits in the first the second game of the series. It's just something that pisses me off because the Mets, if you wanted to go defense only for a catcher, you could have saved that $40 million and used it towards your bullpen. And you know what? Give Nito the starting job and get a backup catcher. That would have been fine with me. But I mean, at least I feel like Nito was actually trying at the plate. It just seems like McCann's just there, just swinging around with his eyes closed. I can't stand James McCann. If I see Nito playing 5 out of 7 days over McCann, I would do that. But they're not going to do that. It's just insane to me that $40 million. I did not like that move the moment I heard that signing. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Now, granted, I understand that Real Muto was there. I wanted Real Muto. Okay, I get the Mets didn't want to give him that much for a catcher. Fine. But just give me a defensive catcher. Let him work well with the pitches. He's a good framer. He can throw guys out. Great. But James McCann, how many times has he dropped balls that are right down the middle? He's not that great blocking balls. He got a great arm. He throws guys out. But we could have saved a lot of money and find somebody who just does that and occasionally hits a home run. James McCann can't even get the ball up in the air. I mean, it's ridiculous for James McCann. It's, we got to be better hitting fastballs, Ken, and I agree. Cano is not a good glove anymore. If the ball's hit to him, he can catch it. That's it. He has no range at all. He should be gone now. PJC, what's up? McNeil's in the lineup. He's batting third. He's playing second. Robert. Unconscious. Cheers, Mets fans. With Jankowski? Well, he's a spark plug. I like Jankowski. I think he's a great, perfect fourth outfielder. You need him in a big spot to steal a base. Great. You need him in a spot to bunt the ball over. You need him late in games for a defensive situation. That would be perfect, in my opinion. So I like Travis Jankowski, but again, the Mets going to have to make a decision sooner or later. And, in the next coming days or so. But I like him. I do like him a lot. There's qualities that I like in a fourth outfielder. Defense, speed, occasional bunt base hits. I like him. I don't think he's a starting outfielder, but for this team, a fourth outfielder would be perfect, and Jankowski could be that guy. But again, Jankowski has options, so it really depends on what the Mets are going to do. If the Mets are not going to get rid of Cano on May 1st and cut him, then you're going to see somebody go. Maybe a J.D. Davis, maybe a Sean Refoley, maybe Jankowski. It's unfortunate with Jankowski, but again, you have to get your roster down to 26 by May 1st. Legendary Watermelon, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I don't know if something's wrong with Lindor's arm. I mean, we've seen it last year too. He just throws a lot of balls. Like he has like a sinking motion. His ball sinks. It's weird. Like I know when I played third base, I threw the ball somewhat sidearm, not over the top. So I always had a sink to my ball. So I don't know. I think that's just the way he throws. Unfortunately, it scares the hell out of me sometimes. But I don't know. I just don't know. It just seems like the way he throws his ball, he's a little bit three quarters, and I think he naturally throws a sinker. That's what I think. Honestly, I felt that I feel that way when I throw the ball at third base. I have a sink on my ball when I throw the first base. I don't know. It's just I could never throw over the top or get it. I can never get underneath the ball enough to just throw a straight line. I had that problem. I mean, I didn't throw balls in the dirt as much as Lindor does right now. I don't know if it's just his arm or it's just his natural way of throwing. Just has a nasty sink on the ball. It's unfortunate, but sometimes, I just think that he short arm the ball too, and that hurts him when he not getting enough power in on the ball getting the first base. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but we'll see. Yeah, honestly, I would see what you can get for JD Davis. I mean, even if it's like a back end of the bullpen type of arm, I would do it, just to get rid of JD Davis because he's useless at this point. He actually made every throw to first base yesterday. I was shocked. But see what you can get for JD Davis. Again, I don't think they're gonna do Cano. If they do, I would be stunned and I'd be happy about that. And I do think Sean Reed Foley is going to get down to the minor leagues. So that's three guys. So you'd be down to 25. I think Mark Vientos should be the guy that should be coming up. I think they should give him a chance. So we're about a couple of minutes before game time, guys. So once again, guys, just how this works, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit on that like button, guys, and hit on that subscribe button, guys. You're here right now talking Mets at Rob pregame. Live Mets versus Giants game 4 of the series. Seeing if the Mets can take 3 out of 4 against one of the better teams in baseball in the San Francisco Giants. And if they do that, they would win 4 series to begin the season. And that is a great start for our New York Mets going to Arizona where we're playing 3. That is just a really, really bad team. Really bad team. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? Robert, I agree. McNeil should be playing second. I like McNeil in left field. Honestly, I know it's hard for him to play there. I like him in the outfield. I think he's very good in the outfield, but I'm okay with him in second. He hasn't made no boneheaded plays. McNeil had a problem turning double plays in the last couple of years. This year, he's been a lot better with that. I don't know if it's a better communication with Lindor or what, but it's been better, and I'm happy with McNeil at second base. But we'll see. Let's see what else we got. Dean says, very nervous, huge game. I agree. I think this is an important game for the Mets. You can't let this series somewhat slip away. I wouldn't call it, a failure because you did split a series with a really good team. But I do think that if you take the first 2 games, I think it feels better if you take 3 out of 4, in my opinion. Yeah, Ken. We can leave McCann in New York when we go to Arizona. Let him spend some time with his family. Yeah, Dean. I know Nito's not great offensively, but I actually think he's a guy that can connect on one and hit one over the wall. I don't feel confident at all that James McCann's ever going to get a hit. When he got a hit, I dropped my scorebook. I was like, oh, Christ. I'm like, wow. He 0 for 4, 0 for 3, 0 for 4. He has 3 hits this year. I mean, come on. Like, he's batting like, what, 139? I mean, that's a joke. I mean, I would rather see Rene Rivera. Maybe he would hit a ball. It's just ridiculous. AJ Puck is an interesting one. I was trying to look around the league of what back end of the bullpen type of guys we can get for JD Davis. I don't know what teams are willing to do anything right now. That's the thing. Yeah, Todd, I'm not surprised. 29th at catcher projection. I'm not surprised. I mean, there's guys around the league that I would rather have than freaking James McCann. And you're paying this guy $10 million, but they weren't willing to give Luke that much money. Like, oh, God. Tyler, how you doing? Yeah, Tyler, I know, man. I wanted Rodon really badly. I mean, I'm happy with Chris Bassett. Don't get me wrong, but Carlos Rodon, if he's healthy, he's a Cy Young candidate. He really is. All right, guys. So it's 1 o'clock. SNY is uh just showing a little bit of the records of the teams right now. So they be starting at 110. So once again, guys, if you're new to the channel, what I do here on Talking Mets at Rob, I put MLB Game Day up so you can follow the game there. I also put the Mets radio call so you can listen to the game as well. And I'll pop myself out of the way during the innings, and then when the inning is over, I'll pop back on and we'll talk about the inning. So once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button, guys, so we can get this stream out to more Mets fans, more Giant fans, so we can have a lot of fun. In game one, the stream was excellent. We had a lot of Giant fans, a heck of a lot of Met fans, and it was a lot of back and forth, but it was a good back and forth. Nobody really killed each other or said anything terrible. It was just good back and forth baseball fan talk, and that's great to see, and it was a lot of fun. I got over 8,000 views on that stream, so it was a lot of fun. So once again, guys, new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is what we're doing all year long when I'm not at a game, and it's always a good time with you guys to spend on a Thursday afternoon on getaway day for the Mets to take on the Giants in game 4, hopefully taking the series. So let me just move over game day so everybody sees exactly what I'm seeing. So we'll be ready to go. I'm going to pull up the radio call in a second. All right, guys. So unfortunately, I couldn't get to everybody's comment because I see everybody typing. Well, Steve, I mean, the Mets have to make changes anyway in May 1st. So, with the 28-man roster going down to 26. So, DeSclafani is fine. He's not great, but, he got over a 4 ERA right now this season. I mean, that doesn't tell you a lot, but the Mets should hit him. The Mets should score runs against him. The Mets are not bringing up Beatty yet. Even though Beatty seems ready, the same reason why the Mets are not going to bring up Alvarez at this point. It's just not going to happen right now. That's why Vientos was a candidate to come out of spring training on this roster. So, and the Mets would bring him up before the one thing the Mets don't want to do is bring up Beatty or Alvarez, and they don't do well. And then you got to send them back down. You don't want to mess with their confidence right now. In June and July, when you might need a catcher, bring up Alvarez at that point. At this point, Vientos, I think, is the perfect candidate at the moment. Yeah, well, we always miss Wilmer Flores, even though he didn't really play well for us for the most part. Honestly, Ken, I'd rather have Gary Sanchez. Seriously. Honestly, I know Gary Sanchez is garbage behind the plate, but, I mean, Jesus, at least I know Gary can come up and do some damage with the bat. I mean, McCann does not do nothing well. Even defensively, he came as this, defensive whiz, as everybody talked about. Alderson talked about it. Oh, he's great behind the plate. He's a great framer, this and that. Great with pitchers. Okay, great. And so we're giving all the credit to James McCann for the pitchers doing so well. The same reason we're giving Hefner all the credit in the world as well. I would take Gary Sanchez in a heartbeat. I would completely do. Oh, Corey, no problem, buddy. Well, I'm glad I can do something. So I'm going to put up the radio call now. It should have some things going right now. It should be Howie and Wayne Randazzo. Let me just pull it up for you guys so you can start listening to it right before the game starts. Alrighty. So there's a couple of games on. The Yankees and Tigers are playing at 1, and the White Sox and Guardians are playing at 1 as well. All right, so it's on commercial now, so it should be coming up in a few seconds. And once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button, guys, so we can get that stream out to more people. And let's hope the Mets get 3 out of 4 and fly to Arizona and watch them late-ass games if you're on the East Coast at 9, 10, 10:30 which is annoying, but I will definitely be doing. I probably will do a Saturday live stream for the second game of the Arizona series. So look out for that. So once again, guys, Mets versus Giants going to start in a few minutes. Again, keys to the game: continue good starting pitching. Gotta get to the pitchers early for the Giants. You have to. You can't fall behind like we did in 2 out of the 3 games in this series, and fight to come back. It's hard enough to win ball games against good teams. You don't want to start fighting back and have a hit. Gotta fight up climb up these steps to get these runs to get back into the game. But we need a nice offensive day. We really do. Like give us 5 or 6 runs and keep them to 3 runs, and I'll be happy. I would like to have an easygoing game. There's not many of them when it comes to being a Mets fan. Buck Showalter is back, by the way. They just showed him, so he's good to go. So Carrasco is walking from the bullpen, ready to go to the dugout. So again, lately the Mets games have been a minute or two late. They haven't actually started on 105, 110, 710. They've been a little bit off when it comes to starting the game actually on time. So it just gives me more time to yap my mouth so everybody can say, oh, God, can this guy shut up? So once again, guys, super chats are always appreciated. So if you want your comments seen during the game, just send a super chat because people are sending a lot of messages. And again, as soon as I'm looking at something and somebody sends one, it flies right back up. So I don't want to miss anybody if I don't have to. So during the game, it's hard to check the comments because I go over the inning and there's not much I can, there's not much time before the commercial is over and the game's back on. Yeah, you're probably going to kill the Nationals, Tyler. So I think you're going to be fine after. That's why it's an important game for both teams. The Giants don't want to lose 3 out of 4 against the Mets. That's what they're going to hear for the next couple of days. Oh, well, you're supposed to be one of the better teams in baseball. You lost to the Mets, who was a good team, but you're supposed to be better. And then, you go into Washington, you're going to take your anger out on them, which is fine with me because I can care less about the damn Nationals. So again, it's a really big game for both teams. It really is. The Mets would be winning their 4th series of the year, haven't lost a series yet. And even if they lose today, they still haven't lost a series. So, it's a good start for the Mets. And the Giants came off to a good start as well. So we just have to wait and see exactly what. Ethan, I'm not going live tomorrow. I'll be going live on Saturday for the Arizona game. I think that game's at 10:40, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Actually, I'm sorry. Excuse me. The Saturday game starts at 8:10 on the East Coast. So I'm assuming on the West Coast it starts at 5:10. And if you're in the middle of the country, it starts at 6:10. So East Coast, it starts at 8:10. So it's not too late of a start for the Mets. Joseph, you know what? It's hard to tell at this point. I mean, if you just go by stats, the Giants have the best overall staff, but you said rotation. So look, I think the Mets are top 3 at top 3 for sure. The Dodgers have been pitching really well. The Giants have been pitching really well. So, at this moment, it's probably the Giants in the NL, the Giants, the Dodgers, and the Mets right now. In the major leagues, they're probably top 6 or 7, maybe top 5, most likely. All right, guys. So we are going to bring the call to Howie and Wayne for the final game of the series between the Mets versus Giants, as I call it, East versus West showdown right here on Talking Mets and Rob. So let's see if Carrasco can continue his dominance on the mound. Mets are coming on the field now. So the game should be starting probably not on 110 like it's supposed to, but it's going to be probably a minute or two after. Arizona has no daylight savings time. Sure. Yeah, I don't think they do. So I think, so yeah, it's 8:10 there. Well, yeah. So they start a little bit late. 9:40 game, 8:10 game, and I think there's a 3:00 game put in there in the last game of the series. So once again, Saturday the game starts at 8:00 on the East Coast. So I will be going live probably at 7 for the pregame. So definitely Saturday I will be live streaming. Maybe Sunday as well. So guys, I'm going to put on the radio call for Howie and Wayne.
Batter is third baseman Eduardo Escobar. Mark Canha is in left field. Canha's batting sixth. The seventh hitter in right field, Travis Jankowski. Luis Guillorme's at short today. Guillorme's batting eighth. And the number 9 batter is the catcher for the Mets, Tomas Nido, catching for Carlos Carrasco on the mound here this afternoon. The Mets in their home white jerseys, white pants, blue pinstripes all over. Blue Mets script across the front, outlined in orange, blue numbers and letters on the back, blue caps and bills. The orange NY on the front of the cap. Today's Thursday. Missed the black jerseys by one day. We'll see them next Friday, I'm sure, here at Citi Field. The Giants in their road gray tops.
Once again, guys, during the game, if you want your comment or question pulled up and answered in between innings, the best way to do that is super chat, so I know that I can see your comment, so I can get you right away before the inning comes back and the commercial is over.
Left-handed batter against the righty Carlos Carrasco.
All right, guys, so the game is going to start. Carrasco is ready to throw his first pitch.
Nice to have the natural light out there for the ball game today as the Mets finish up this first homestand of the year, trying to take 3 out of 4 against San Francisco. It's Carrasco against Yastrzemski with play-by-play. Here's the radio voice of the Mets, Howie Rose.
All right, thank you, Wayne. Yastrzemski, a left-hand batter. The righty Carrasco's first pitch is a fastball that misses inside, ball 1. Yastrzemski 2 for 5 last night. He's off to a slow start at the plate with just 7 out of 35, an even 200 average. He doesn't have a home run, but if not for the conditions the other night, he certainly would have, and it would have tied the game. The 1-0 on the way, that's lifted foul into the seats behind third base downstairs. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Yastrzemski with Brandon Belt on deck, and then Darren Ruff. Carrasco has been terrific through his first 2 starts with the Mets in this season. The opposition has hit just $135 against him in 10 2/3 innings. And the 1-1 down and in, and Yastrzemski goes down to his knees in the batter's box as that pitch, an 86-mile-an-hour cutter from Carrasco, sent Yastrzemski sprawling. So 2 balls and 1 strike the count. 3 infielders to the right of second base, and the 2-1 pitch. Outside with that split change. And the count 3-1 now on the Giants' leadoff hitter. It's his 4th season in San Francisco. Came up through the Baltimore Orioles system. And Carrasco now comes to the belt. The 3-1 to Yastrzemski is bunted third base side. Carrasco off the mound, can't reach it. That's an easy hit for Yastrzemski with Escobar, the third baseman, way out by shortstop. So the overshift stings the Mets to an extent there as Yastrzemski drops
nice
down
bunt by
under those circumstances,
there.
and the Giants have a leadoff base runner.
Carrasco falling off
certain things with the shifts, you've seen a lot more players do that this year already throughout the league. More guys are bunting for the hits when the shift's on.
Is it my imagination, or do you think we're seeing left-handed hitters make a little more of an effort this year to
there you go. Wayne just said
against
it.
the shift? Seems like we've seen that multiple times now. Brandon Belt, the batter, he homered last night on his birthday. First pitch, fastball high and away, ball 1.
Well, I think the Mets lefties are pretty good about it in general. McNeil and Nimmo especially going the other way. And Cano, too. He's hit a lot of line drives and has bunted to the left side as well.
Cano not in the starting lineup as we look at the Mets' defensive alignment, sponsored by Orland & Cohen Orthopedic Group. Experiencing orthopedic pain, we've got specialists for that. 1-0 to Brandon Belt. Carrasco delivers and hits the inside corner. A called strike with his sinker, and the count 1-1. Mets have Alonso at first, McNeil at second, Guillorme at short to get Lindor off his feet, but Francisco's the DH, and Escobar back on defense at third. He was the DH last night. Canha, Nimmo, Jankowski left to right in the outfield. Day off for Marte. Nido catching. 1-1 from Carrasco, foul back to the screen. So 1-2 to Brandon Belt. Mentioned he hit a home run yesterday and went into the Coca-Cola corner, the upper deck in right field. It was on his birthday, and that's a rarity for him. Never mind the home run, but just the hit. The rarest of occasions when you consider that Brandon Belt had been 0 for 19 on his birthday. So just getting started here. Yastrzemski at first, nobody out. 1-2 to Brandon Belt, left-hand batter. The pitch swung at him.
Nice slider by Carrasco. Nice slider.
Down and in.
Carrasco's breaking pitches and off-speed pitches have been really, really good this year so far.
In 11 innings so far.
Really nice to see Carrasco healthy. He's an X factor for this rotation, that's for sure.
The umpires this afternoon, the crew chief, Alfonso Marquez, is behind the plate. Trip Gibson is at first. Ramon De Jesus at second. And Clint Van Grek is the umpire at third. Now the Mets overshift against right-hand hitting Darren Ruff. First pitch is a fastball over on the inside half for a called strike. 0-1. Ruff off to a very slow start at the plate after a good year last season. When he returned from 3 years playing in Korea, he had 16 home runs to tie his career high. The Giants gave him a 2-year extension. The 0-1. That's on the inside corner, a sinker. And the count 0-2. But so far, Ruff just 7 hits and 42 at-bats without a home run. Former Philadelphia Philly, with Jock Peterson, the cleanup hitter, waiting on deck. Mets play him to pull dramatically on the infield, and yet they play him the other way in the outfield. The 0-2, low and away with a fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ruff has good power. He was playing in a bandbox in Philadelphia, and he would occasionally burn the Mets. He almost got into a pretty serious physical altercation. What was it, with Hansel Robles, I believe, several years ago? He was barking. Throw to first, and diving back in is Yastrzemski.
So when Larry Boa got involved?
Yeah, Boa came out of the dugout. He was coaching for the Phillies then.
It doesn't take much to get a fight out of Larry Boa.
No, and he's still around, you know. We saw him in Philadelphia last week. He is still an advisor in the Phillies front office. And briefly a former Met back in 1985. 1-2 pitch. Check swing, breaking ball. Did he go? No. On appeal to first. It is ball 2, strike 2, according to Trip Gibson.
I saw Boa take a swing at Frank the Ice Cream Man when we were in Philadelphia.
Now, that I won't believe. You can sell me on a lot of Larry Boa's temper-related incidents, but he's not going after old Frank. Frank's 80 years old, man. 2-2 pitch. That's in there. Strike 3 call. He got him with a changeup. That split change that's been so effective for Carrasco, and that's his second strikeout.
Very nice pitch by Carrasco right there. That split change has been a godsend for Carrasco. Beautiful. It like stays on the outside corner and then just dips into the right-handed batter. Really nice.
He doles out, I'd say, healthy portions, but you'd have to make up your mind.
2 down,
because it is
man
ice
on
cream.
first.
But tons of ice cream. But they have taken a real move downward in Philly this year. I don't know why they got rid of the Turkey Hill. They have some cheap substitute right now. That doesn't work. Well, here's Jock Peterson. Today is his birthday. Number 30, left-hand batter. First pitch hit on the ground to the right side. Moving to his left to grab it is Guillorme, and he throws to first in time.
All right, guys. So a nice inning for Carlos Carrasco. Again, the big thing with Carrasco last year was getting out of the first inning without giving up some runs, and he did that right now. So the Mets offense is coming up once again, guys. Brandon Nimmo, Lindor, McNeil starting it up for the New York Mets in the bottom of the first. So it's nice to see Carrasco healthy because he's a guy that when the Mets got him, we thought he was going to be our number 2 basically last year. And that's what we thought. That's the type of pitcher we were going to get for in Carrasco. Unfortunately, with injuries, getting late start in spring training because he had to go to he didn't come back until August. It's unfortunate, but now he looks healthy. That split change is nasty. His slider has been sharp this year so far. And like I said during the inning, Carlos Carrasco is the X factor for this rotation, especially with David Peterson still in this rotation. Looks like Walker should be back soon. He might not be ready for the Arizona series. They did say they might give him one more extended spring training start, and then he'll be back in the rotation. So Peterson might get another start for the Mets, and it might look like Trevor Williams might get a start in Arizona because the Mets do need a starting pitcher because of the doubleheader on Tuesday against the Giants when you had to use Scherzer and McGill on the same day. But that's okay. That is okay. because I think the Mets should have no issues beating up on the lonely, terrible Arizona Diamondbacks. Angel, a member of Talking Mets and Rob, is here. What's up, Angel? How you doing, buddy? So they're showing Sean Estes hitting the home run off of Roger Clemens because Sean Estes is a broadcaster for the San Francisco Giants. Because, Sean Estes is famous for the Mets not hitting Roger Clemens and throwing behind him, but in that same game, hits a home run off of Roger Clemens. So Brandon Nimmo is up at the plate, and let's see if the Mets can score some runs in the first.
Is Freehold's Anthony DeSclafani. Former Marlin, making his third start of the year. He's also been with the Reds. And he's facing Brandon Nimmo, who takes the first pitch low for ball one. Nimmo, 2 out of 4 last night. Batting .323, 2 home runs. And a very Nimmo-ish 432 on base. The 1-0 foul back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. It is so typical of Brandon Nimmo to find his way aboard in just about any manner. But what he does by seeing as many pitches as he does, not only informs the immediate next couple of hitters, but it really gets you started on getting into that bullpen. The 1-1 taken outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's face it, there aren't many teams in the bullpen who can say, yeah, we feel comfortable going to our pen in the 5th or 6th inning and running a stud out there who can really, change the course of a game. Sometimes they do. The 2-1 fastball high, 3 balls and 1 strike. But nowadays, that's a big part of a game plan. Get into the opposition's bullpen early because, for the most part that nowadays
Brandon Nimmo has a great approach. He works the counts. He has so many 3-2 counts. It's excellent. It gets, especially leading off, he gets the rest of his lineup to check out the pitcher a little bit more. It's perfect.
Put the brakes on, and he's the proud owner of yet another Nimmo. And this is exactly what we're talking about. This full count is very, very representative of what Brandon Nimmo does. DeSclafani works from the third base side of the rubber. Left leg kick, the payoff pitch. Swing and a chopper back past the mound. Charged by Crawford, the shortstop. Reaches down to glove it and fires to first in time to get Nimmo by a half step. 1 man away. And it'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Francisco Lindor, who is the designated hitter today. I was talking to Francisco.
I agree, Angel. Look, of course you want to sweep the Arizona Diamondbacks because they suck. But, they're still a major league team. It's not easy sweeping teams.
And I said to him,
just win another series and you're golden.
Kind of a routine about what you do between at-bats? He said, I don't know. We'll see today. Because there's nothing that he's done with any regularity, and his, quote, routine will change from time to time. Switch hitter batting left takes a fast or a breaking ball, a curve inside and low for ball 1. Francisco 0 for his last 7, but he's batting .277. And he's hit DeSclafani well. The 1-0.
That ball is gone.
Right field, pretty deep. Yastrzemski towards the corner in front of
Yeah.
It is gone. A home run.
All right. Solo 2 out, 1 out home run for Francisco Lindor. Good start. Good start. There we go. Now we take the lead. All right. Frankie's been hot.
He's now 6 out of 13 with 3 home runs against DeSclafani, and the Mets have a 1-0.
Waited back on that curveball and golfed it out of here to right field in the Coca-Cola corner. 1-0 Mets.
San Francisco's pitching staff gave up a homer, and Francisco Lindor does the honors with a shot into the Coca-Cola corner. This great opening homestand for Lindor continues. He was hearing MVP chants from this crowd a couple of days ago, if you can imagine that from where he's come from last season.
Isn't that something? Well, first home run allowed by DeSclafani.
Good start by the Mets.
Left-hand batter. He takes a sinker for a called strike, 0-1. The total number of hitters that Giants pitchers faced before giving up that home run, 308. That includes Nimmo's groundout here in the first. The 0-1. Dropped in the air, outside third, a foul ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Lindor's having a really nice season.
But can't reach the ball anyway. It's a couple of rows back. And it's 0-2 on McNeil, who's batting .293.
Oh, boy, TV test.
6 RBIs.
But 1-0 Mets. Francisco Lindor solo home run in the first.
Time in casual settings with players over the last couple of years because of the COVID protocols and restrictions. But being around Francisco Lindor this year, here's the 0-2 to McNeil, pulled on the ground into the shift to the right side. Estrada, the second baseman, up with it.
Look, the Mets need Francisco Lindor to be an all-star. It's just that simple.
The only times I got to talk to Lindor really last year, since we didn't travel with a team, when you'd see him on the field before a game, different kind of circumstances. Rushed, they're into their routines. They steal a minute or two with you. But now Francisco is so relaxed, sitting in front of his locker, just schmoozing about all things baseball and sometimes family.
All right, so here comes Pete with 2 outs.
It's delightful to see what looks like the, no pun intended, metamorphosis of Francisco Lindor in his second season with the Mets. So now
I thought you were going to say an hour, Joe.
And of course he's hitting, and that helps. First pitch, dribble foul off the end of the bat to the backstop. Nothing in one to Pete, who went 3 for 4 last night. A little different kind of 3 for 4 from Pete. All singles. His average at 260. He's tied for second in the National League and runs batted in with 14. He's hit 3 homers. Mets 1, Giants nothing here in the first 2 out. The pitch, swing and a miss at a slider. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Alonso. DeSclafani, a lot of sinkers and a lot of sliders. Signed a 3-year contract with the Giants for $36 million coming into this season. And now the 0-2 to Alonso. Swung on and missed strike 3. Got him with that slider. And that.
All right, guys. So the Mets take the lead in the bottom of the first with a Francisco Lindor solo home run to the second deck in Citi Field and right field in the Coca-Cola corner. So nice little start for the Mets, giving Carrasco a quick lead to come out in the top of the second. And facing batters Crawford, Flores, and Estrada. 5, 6, 7. Again, Lindor's been hot. He's been hitting well all year. Again, we were all down on Francisco Lindor. He had a terrible year last year. It's nice to see that. It feel like he finally took a deep breath in New York and be like, all right, I'm here now. I'm going to be the player that I always been in my career. Listen, if he has a career like he had a couple of years ago with Cleveland, well, he's going to be an all-star. It's just that simple. I mean, we need Lindor. We don't have a lot of power bats in this lineup. We need somebody to pick up the slack when Alonso's not doing well, especially power-wise. So, again, the DH has been pretty decent for the Mets for the most part. Alonso's been batting well as a DH. Lindor, first-time DH this year, hits a home run. Cano, Davis, and Smith, when they DH, they don't do nothing. So, Ethan, the radio number and channel is WCBS 880. It's an AM dial channel. It's not an FM channel, but I'm getting the radio call from MLB, the MLB app. I'm streaming it, so that's why it's a little behind the game day and the TV. But it's 880 on the AM dial if you're in New York. Justin, how you doing? So the Mets so far at Citi Field, it's 7 home runs in their 2 series so far at Citi Field. So I think it's the 3rd home run by Lindor at Citi Field, if I'm not mistaken. So here we go, guys. Crawford's at the plate, and we're going to the top of the second. Mets lead 1-0.
6 and 7 in the Giants betting order will face Carlos Carrasco. Yastrzemski led off the first with a bunt single, and now the Mets are going to overshift the infield against the left-hand hitting Crawford. And Escobar way off the line at third. First pitch to Crawford is taken outside and high. Ball 1, a sinker from Carrasco. Crawford won his 4th career Gold Glove last year, batting just .220 in the early going with a homer and 4 runs batted in. We claim to pull in the outfield, too. Here's the 1-0. Down and in and hit him in the foot. Brandon Crawford has been hit by a pitch, and the Giants get the leadoff man on for the 2nd straight inning.
By the time the Mets nicked somebody, the Mets have been hit 12 times, and that's only the 4th time they've hit an opponent.
Go after the guys who have been plunking you. Not like the Giants have been taking dead aim at the Mets. Not yet, anyway. Saw the hand for Wilmer Flores. I wondered if, I guess they don't do this for opposing players, so why break precedent? But I kind of half wondered if they'd play the Friends theme for Wilmer as he came into the batter's box because, Wilmer not only used that as his walk-up song when he was with the Mets, but he said watching that television show, Friends, is what helped teach him English. Wilmer batting at .216 with 1 home run. Right-hand batter, first pitch, slider low outside, ball 1.
It's actually a topic of conversation in the Braves-Dodgers series with Kenley Jansen. He comes into California Love as the Dodgers closer, and the place goes crazy. And they asked him if he thought they'd play it for him coming out of the Braves bullpen. He said, I sure hope not. That would be a pretty bad thing to do to the Dodgers.
There you go. The 1-0 on the way, and Flores lifts it in the air to right center. That's going to be in for a base hit, played by Jankowski. Gets it in quickly. Crawford stops at second. And Wilmer Flores is on at first with a base hit. The second
So they're doing
the
a little bit what they did yesterday.
San Francisco
They put in the bat and the ball, not trying to do too much, just hitting, solid base hits.
Tyro Estrada, the second baseman, will be the batter. Estrada playing second base,
That's cool,
and he has
PJC.
been for all now 13 games.
Yeah, King Piazza was a
Giants have
Padre
played. He has
for,
started
I think,
all 13.
maybe 1 or 2 years. He
They've
came
got
back at
some injuries
City Field
to the Giants
for the first time
Tommy
as an
LaStella,
opposing player.
who is an infielder, can play all over
since
the
he left
place
the
on
Mets.
the infield. He's got an Achilles problem.
He hit a home run,
He hasn't
too,
played
against
yet
the
this
Mets
year.
when he was with the
Evan
Padres.
Longoria, the third baseman, recovering from hand surgery. He hasn't played yet. First pitch to Estrada, foul straight back out of play. 0-1. That's where bunt suspicious there. With Alonso in tight
I'll
on
take
the
a
grass
double
at
play
first. Same for Escobar at third.
Can't have
Lamont
big
Waiter
innings
did a
here.
nice job for them in the outfield last year. Also on the IL with knee inflammation, and he hasn't played yet. So the corner's not in as tight now with 1 strike. The 0-1 to Estrada. Breaking ball hit on the ground slowly right side. Past the diving McNeil. Base hit right field. Crawford coming to the plate. Jankowski's throw comes through, but it's not in time. As Crawford
that was
scores
quick.
standing. Stopping at second is Flores. And on at first with an RBI single is Tyro Estrada. And the Giants have tied the game 1-1.
Talk about a seeing eye single. That's what that was off the bat of Tyro Estrada. Just a perfectly placed ground ball. McNeil tried to get to it, but could not as it dribbled into right field. Jankowski came up throwing to the plate. He might have had a
what's
better
up, man? How
play
you doing?
throwing it behind Flores at second base.
So
Wilmer
Giants
took
just
a
tied the
few
game
steps
on a
toward
base hit
third
by
when that
Tyro
ball was
Estrada.
headed toward the plate, but
So
Jankowski's
1-1
thrown out
already.
in time to get Crawford.
We all know Wilmer Flores is not a fast base runner, but they get Crawford home with a tying run. And isn't that how the Giants beat the Mets early last night with a lot of low exit velo contact? Same there for Estrada. Now here's Steven Duggar, left-hand batter. First and second, no out. First pitch, breaking ball is low. Ball 1. Duggar 1 for 4 in last night's game. That was a base hit in the fourth inning.
Not a lot of hard hit balls
He would
there.
later
Seeing eye
score
singles,
after going
basically,
to second on a wild
for the
pitch.
most part. But you
Duggar
got to hit them where they
struck
ain't.
out once last night and struck out a ton in the early going here. 15 strikeouts in his first 38 plate appearances. His 4 stolen bases lead the league, though. Outfield straightaway. 1-0 pitch. Foul straight down at home plate. Count 1-1. Scoreboard update sponsored by your local Honda dealers. Contact one for a great deal today. The Yankees are in Detroit, and there is drama beyond what happens on the scoreboard itself because Miguel Cabrera is 1 hit away from number 3,000 for his career. He flied out to left field in his first at bat. We'll keep you posted on the adventures of Miggy. 1-1 to Duggar. Carrasco deal. Swinging a bouncing ball foul up the first base line, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kurt Casale, the catcher, is waiting on deck for Gabe Kepler's San Francisco Giants. It's amazing how things work sometimes. Kepler is actually going to come out of the dugout here, I believe, because I don't know if Estrada's got, or at least Duggar's got something in his eye, but he's a little uncomfortable now outside the batter's box, and the trainer and Kepler are out there as well to have a look and see what's up.
They're taking Duggar out of the game.
Not going to his eyes. It doesn't look like he's trying to get something out of the eye, so I don't know. Maybe he's a little dizzy or something else.
It doesn't look like he's feeling very well out there, and the training staff and
He's coming out.
Yeah, they were trying to talk him out of the game. Whatever's going on with Duggar seems like a previously known problem to the Giants.
Well, he's taking a very slow, disconsolate walk back to the San Francisco dugout. You can tell he's very disappointed at having to come out of the game. So the Giants are going to have to get somebody up there with a count 1 ball and 2 strikes. You see when he went his side a little bit?
Yeah, looks like it might have been an oblique situation.
Oh, those things, they linger. There's no such thing as a slight oblique injury. And so, Giants, I believe, have Mauricio Dubon, who is beginning to swing the bat in the on-deck circle. Yep, that's him strolling to the plate. So, he'll inherit a 1 ball, 2 strike
Yeah,
count.
the Giants have a couple of injuries in this
Anyway,
series
we're
already.
talking about Gabe
I mean, he
Kapler
swung. It
briefly
looked like an
and how
oblique
badly
when he swung. He
struggled
grimaced.
with first
And he like grabbed his like area of
Phillies
the
manager,
his
they let
oblique.
you know it in a city like Philadelphia or any place in the Northeast.
All right, Grant, that's cool, man. Let's go Mets.
After he really struggled with the Phillies, that the Giants hired him, and then he wins 107 games last year. But now it is Dubon batting with a 1-2 count. Runners lead second and first, no out, 1-1 in the second. The pitch, bunted on and missed, strike 3. So the attempt to bunt turns into a strikeout.
I wonder if he didn't know the count because he just came up and he looked pretty confused after that was called strike 3. So
Well, that was a get out for us.
Peek up at the scoreboard or ask the umpire what the count was before he got in the batter's box.
You know, if that's the case, that's a fine. I mean, not a big one, but, you know, at the very least in that situation, you've just got to know what's happening. And you would think the hitting coach or somebody else on the bench coach would have let him in on the secret too.
Football, how you doing? Let's go, Mets.
Carrasco. Here's the catcher, Kurt Caselli. Right-hand hitter.
It's tied 1-1 in the top of the second.
Stands to the right of home plate on the lower level, and the count, no balls and 1 strike.
Very big
3
break for
strikeouts
sure.
now for Carrasco. Caselli off to a 2 for 12 start at the plate. He and Joey Bart.
Nice little double play ball. Just to give up 1 run would be nice for us right now.
Right-hand batter, the 0-1, is taken inside a sinker. 1 ball and 1 strike to the 33-year-old Caselli, who's been with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Cincinnati Reds. And he's had all kinds of injury problems over the course of his career. Big stuff, too. Tommy John surgery, hip surgery. The 1-1. Low outside with a breaking ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. He does a great job behind the plate. Last year at one point, early in the season, he caught 5 consecutive shutouts. And he had the best catcher's earned run average of any catcher in baseball last year. So, you know, whether he hits or not, he's got a big upside defensively. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a sinker. And the count 2-2 on Caselli, with Mike Yastrzemski waiting on deck. Wilmer Flores, the runner at second. A much faster Tyro Estrada is the runner at first with 1 out. 1-1, we're in the second. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt.
Gotta get Castley here. Gotta get Castley
with Wilmer Flores, the lead runner, you kind of doubt that.
Can't walk
send the
Castley
runners
here
here
in 3-2.
You've got Yastrzemski, the leadoff man on deck, but who knows? It doesn't mean that they wouldn't send them. Escobar deep at third. Outfield straight away. It'll be a payoff pitch. Let's see if they're going. They are not. And the pitch popped up, shallow center. In comes Brandon Nimmo. He's under it now. And Brandon makes the one-hand catch.
Nice pitch for Carrasco. 2 down. First and second, 2 outs for the Giants.
For Yastrzemski. Our salute to service is presented by our partners at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, who, along with the Mets Radio Network, extend heartfelt thanks to U.S. Army Captain Ben Harrow. You can help heroes like Ben at t2t.org. Mets won, Giants won. Yastrzemski bunted his way on first time up. When you were a kid, Wade, and probably at least had an idea you might like to be a broadcaster someday, did you play games like Stratomatic or some similar game and announce them while you played them?
Yeah, well, video games for sure.
Video games in your era, okay. Pitch to Yastrzemski, a breaking ball taken down and in, ball one.
Even watching the games on TV, too.
So you can understand why, for me, it's so cool that I get to actually announce a Yastrzemski in a real live game, opposed to in Stratomatic, when it was his grandfather, the great Carl Yastrzemski. The 1-0 taken outside, pops out of the mid of Tomas Nido, and the count 2-0 to Mike Yastrzemski.
Well, maybe I'll get to call Ryan Sandberg's grandkid one day and see for myself.
Yeah, that'd be fun, right?
Carlos Carrasco has 34 pitches in the second inning with 2 outs. So pitch count is pretty decent at the moment.
Screen. Big cut there, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. You can see a few similarities if you remember Carl Yastrzemski's swing with that of Mike Yastrzemski, but Mike doesn't hold his bat as high as Carl did. Now, 2 Vanderbilt alums in the Giants batting order, back-to-back. Casale, who just flied out, and now Yastrzemski. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball hit on the ground into the shift, right side. McNeil up with it from short right field. Throws out Yastrzemski to retire the side. But the Giants tie the game. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors.
All right, so only gave up 1 run, so that's not too bad. I'll take that for sure. Considering that they got the first 2 men on with nobody out, I'll take just 1 run from Carrasco. So once again, guys, going to the bottom of the second, 1-1 is the score right now. The Mets have up Escobar, Connor, and Jankowski. 5, 6, 7 tie score. Bottom of the second coming on. So a nice way to get out of it for Carlos Carrasco. We got a gift strikeout when what's his name? Duggar got hurt and Dubon came in and tried to bunt with 2 strikes and didn't do anything. So nice to it was a smart pitch by Carrasco. Just threw it. Like, all right, well, he's not paying attention, so he struck him out. And then got the next 2 batters just to give up the 1 run, and he got into a little bit of a jam. First and second, nobody out. Well, guess what? Only 1 run, you'll take that any day of the week. You'll take 0, but 1 is perfectly fine. So, again, going to the bottom of the second, Mets, Giants tied at 1. Again, I think this is going to be a decent high-scoring game, 4 or 5 runs for each team. I figured Carrasco was going to give up a couple of runs at some point, so we'll see. Well, Grant, the catcher in the minors, Alvarez, is doing absolutely awesome. I mean, he's just raking in AA right now. I wouldn't be surprised in a month's time, you'll probably see him in AAA. Yeah, Ken, nice comeback by Cookie for sure. Again, Carrasco's just a different pitcher than what he was last year. You know, he got a little bit of a spring training under his belt. He's healthy, and he's got good stuff. There's no doubt about that. Oh, show us your scorecard? Sure. Well, it's not much on it right now, but like that. Like that. I did most of the games. I might have missed like 4 of them. So far, I did all these so far. All right, guys. So the game is back on.
For strike 3.
Let's go Mets. Let's get some more runs.
Anyway, out of necessity, as he is now in center field. So Anthony DeSclafani's first pitch to Eduardo Escobar is a slider for a called strike, 0-1. Escobar batting at .317, no homers, 4 RBIs, and the 0-1 hit deep to right field.
Escobar hits one deep to right.
Into the corner, and it is.
Yeah, first home run for Eduardo Escobar. Yeah, all right. 2-1 Mets. There we go.
Ascending wall above the orange line, about 15 feet to the left of the foul pole in right field. So Escobar with his first home run as a New York Met, and the Mets have a 2-1 lead. For the Giants,
all right, here we go.
Had faced 308 consecutive batters without allowing a home run. Now they've given up 2 to the last 4.
This is kind of an old problem resurfacing for DeSclafani. He allowed 29 homers in 2019, but only 19 last year in the same number of innings. And he had 100% agree.
Absolutely.
Escobar would get his first.
Yeah, he's heating up. He's began a couple of hits here and there, a couple of doubles yesterday.
So the Mets' first runs of the game.
You just seen Escobar and Connor with a base hit up the middle.
1-800-ALARM-ME, or or visit Slomans.com to find out how you can get a free home security system and professional installation.
Sorry, I got a little ahead of
There's the
myself
0-1.
on that one.
Hit hard through the middle. That's a base
There you
hit
go.
going into center field for Canna. So Canna back in the lineup.
But yeah, Escobar's been hitting a little bit more. You've seen he's getting his at bats were been a little bit better, working the counts a little bit more. I mean, he crushed that ball in the Coca-Cola corner. 8 for his last 14, exactly. I have it right here actually. Where the hell is it? In my notes I have it. Yeah, I have it. Where the hell did I write it? I know I wrote it somewhere.
It's tied for the big league lead with the Dodgers.
Yep, I wrote it right there.
First, not too big a
I don't know if you guys can see it, but I wrote it right there in my notes. My game notes.
The other way to the shortstop hole, backhanded by Crawford, throws to second. They get the force on Canna. No return throw by Estrada. He'll hold onto it. And Jankowski is safe at first on the fielder's choice. 6-4. So with one out, certainly you have to consider the stolen base possibility now with the speedy Travis Jankowski.
Now here's a good spot to steal base. Not what Marte did yesterday.
Good opportunity.
With a hot Lindor up,
Unlike
he tries to steal second with 2 outs.
Yesterday, taking a chance in a spot where it probably wasn't necessary.
Yeah, Buck Showalter did not bury him before the game, but he eventually acknowledged that sometimes you make mistakes out of aggression, and he liked the aggression. But here's Guillorme, and time called. A late timeout call. DeSclafani was going into his stride. He had not released the ball and smartly, was not in a position where he felt he had to force a throw. That's a good way to get hurt. So, ready to go. Guillorme just 1 out of 16 at the plate, left-hand batter. And a throw to first, Jankowski back standing. Travis Jankowski has done so many good things for the Mets that it would be hard to send him out if it comes to the point when they have cut down day a little more than a week from now. Have to cut 2 players off the active roster. He hasn't done anything to do anything but stay. He's running, and the pitch hit the other way by Guillorme. Base hit left center field.
That's the Guillorme I like to see. That's the Guillorme I like to see. Right there.
And on at first with a perfectly executed hit and run single.
That's the Guillorme we've seen in years past. A guy that puts the bat on the ball the other way, hits it against the shift, right through the shortstop hole right there where nobody was playing. First and third, 1 out, and Tomas Nido is up at the plate in an RBI situation and run in scoring position. Tomas Nido is 3 for 16 on the year, 375 OPS.
A couple of double plays already this year.
So the Mets with a window.
I have a good feeling Nito's going to get a hit here.
2-1. It's presented by Windorama, the window replacement experts. Let your project be their passion from start to finish. Visit Windorama.com to set up a free consultation. Nito, 3 out of 16 at the plate, right-hand batter. First pitch. There's a high fly ball, fairly deep to right.
There you go, sack fly. That's what you got to do. Manufacture runs. There you go. I guarantee you McCann would have struck out or grounded into the double play. There you go, 3-1 Mets.
We just saw some excellent baseball from the Mets at the bottom of the order. Jankowski gets on base.
Beautiful from the bottom of the order.
Luis Guillorme moves him over on a hit and run. And Tomas Nido, prone to the double play ball, lifts one in the air.
Very
and
nice.
Deep enough to score Jankowski.
3-1 Mets.
Manufacture a run.
See, Nido puts the bat on the ball for the most part.
Fundamental baseball. Buck Showalter has.
I want Nido in the lineup every day. All right, not every day because he's a catcher. But give me 5 out of 7 days. I'm happy with Tomas Nido.
Here's Nemo,
Small ball, manufacturing runs, sack flies, taking the extra base. Just base hits. That's what the Mets are doing. That's what they got to do. Get back to that. Nice start for the Mets for the first 2 innings.
Quite frankly, when there are not, such as Marte's
scored in the first 2 innings so far.
Last night. But it's the way the Mets have executed the little things so far this year. You have to ascribe a lot of that to Buck. The 0-1 breaking ball swung out and missed. Another curve, and it's 0-2 to Nimmo.
There are more veteran players in the clubhouse, more polished professionals as it is. When you have Buck Showalter then overseeing all of that, it's just a blanket of professionalism that's around this team.
Pleasure to watch. It's not about just trying to yank the ball out of the park with every swing. And we've seen that from the Mets quite often over the last few years. They have homered twice today. The 0-2 to Nimmo is in the dirt. Another curveball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Home runs are good, and home runs will help you win games. But you got to do some of the other stuff as well. And being less home run reliant is an important part of a winning culture.
Remember how they woke up over the weekend in that game against Arizona on Sunday where they spent the first 5 innings doing nothing but hitting the ball in the air when it wasn't going to go anywhere? And then they started hitting line drives and scoring runs. 1-2 to Nimmo. DeSclafani to the belt. Now the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball, not too deep to left. Jock Peterson drifting towards the line, makes the one-hand catch. And that retires the side, but the Mets take the lead right back. They score.
All right, guys, so a nice another inning, taking the lead right back from the Giants. Oh, taking the lead once again in the second inning, scoring 2 runs. Escobar home run. And a Tomas Nido sac fly makes it 3-1 Mets going to the top of the third. Nice to see the Mets offense going back to what they've been doing well the entire year, manufacturing runs. Not trying to do too much. Runners in scoring position, great. I'll hit a base hit. Runner in scoring position, great. I'll get a sac fly if the guy's on third. Perfect. That's why I like Nido more than I like McCann at this point. At least Nido actually hits better in certain situations. Like, he knew he didn't have to do too much. Jankowski was on third base. Pretty good chance that even if it was a pop-up that was short right field, a short center field, a short left field, pretty good chance Jankowski was going to score. So what did Nido do? You saw the type of swing he had. He had that launch angle swing. He wasn't trying to, roll over on the ball and get into a double play. He tried to get the ball up in the air. He did it successfully, got an RBI through the sac fly, and that gave the Mets a 3-1 lead. Escobar with his first home run as a New York Met. He hit a shot to right field in the Coca-Cola corner, just along the same area where Lindor hit his home run in the first inning. So going to the top of the third, Mets leading 3-2-1. Nice to see the Mets are manufacturing runs again. Honestly, they had problems with that in this series so far. They left a lot of men on base in this series. Even though they took the first 2 games, they left even a ton of runners on base and many in scoring position in the first 2 games of the series, even yesterday as well, late in the game. So it's nice to see the Mets are not playing here. They're not worried about – they're not a team that needs to fall behind and to try to fight back. We can't do that. We're a team that plays from ahead. I think it's better that way for the Mets. So here we go, guys. Top of the third. Here we go.
Brandon Belt, first pitch, fastball strike on the outer half. And it's 0-1 from Carlos Carrasco. Without a run on a couple of hits in the second, a hit by a pitch in there as well. Just a little bleeder from Tyro Estrada brought home Brandon Crawford, but the Mets scored 2 in the bottom of the second to take the lead back. 0-1. Belt's ground ball right side, handled by McNeil on the outfield grass, throws to Carrasco at first. Carrasco stretches out, and they get the out at first. Took a while for the first base umpire, Trip Gibson, to see the ball. Once Carrasco, who's laughing about having to show off the athleticism over there at first base, pulled it out. The out
that was an odd play for a 4-1 putout.
Also bailed out Pete Alonso because Pete realized he had drifted too far to his right.
That's something Pete Alonso has to learn at first base. He tends to lean towards getting the ball that's between first and second that is close to him. He has that problem deciding, should I go for the ball or get the first base? He has to know where the second baseman is in that case. He's been having a problem with that.
Range right now than Robbie does, so maybe Pete thought he had to cover more ground than he did. As McNeil made the play on Belt. 1 out. Darren Ruff, the batter, struck out his first time. First pitch.
Yeah, we've seen that with a lot of teams. A team in the same town as us, the Yankees. A power hitting team that goes base to base. They're not a fast team. They're not a team that manufactures runs. They're a power hitting team. They don't hit home runs. They usually lose. So a nice quick 2 outs for the Mets right now. Let's see if Carrasco can get out of this top of the third quickly and get that Mets offense right back in to score some runs. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button. 121 viewers right now in the stream. Keep it coming, guys. The more likes, the more people are going to find this stream, and that's what we want. Going all the way until the end of the game for the final game of the series, East versus West showdown, Mets versus Giants. Let's go.
Carrasco ready, first pitch. Peterson stares at a fastball strike, 0-1. Belt homered on his birthday yesterday.
Well, Ken, you know what? Nimmo has become a better center fielder, but this is where I like analytics. Putting him in spots where he can succeed, playing him deeper, knowing that he's better going running in towards to catch a ball than going back on the ball. So I think that's better as well.
For a great deal today, or visit tryhondadealers.com. Ball one strike on Jock Peterson. 2 out, nobody on. Third inning, the pitch. It's lifted toward left center. Should be easy for Nimmo. Moves to his right, comes in a few steps. Makes a one.
All right, guys. So that was a nice, quick inning for Carrasco. Exactly what you always want a pitcher to do when your offense puts some runs on the board. What you want to do, quick inning, get out of the inning, get your offense right back in there to score some more runs. So 3-1 going to the bottom of the third. Once again, Lindor, Escobar with home runs, and Tomas Nido, a sac fly to score Jankowski to make it 3-1 Mets. So Carrasco looking sharp, looking good. Again, the Giants are a good team. We all know that. They're a team similar to the Mets. Not a lot of big power guys. A lot of batters that put the bat on the ball. When they see a runner in scoring position, they don't try to do too much. They just try to get a single up the middle, get that runner in, sac fly, steal bases, bunt. It's similar to what the Mets do. That's why it's a very interesting series, because you're basically looking in the mirror and seeing a team that's very similar to you somewhat offensively. And again, you see how it annoys the other team. Yesterday, the Giants annoyed the crap out of me because they were doing what the Mets usually do, and that is, base it here, a dribbler up the middle, C&I single, sac fly here, bunting the runners over. The Mets were doing this all season so far early on, and it was annoying because the Mets couldn't do anything against Rodon. Try to put down a bunt, get a guy on base, put some pressure on the defense. That's what the Giants do well, and that's what the Mets do well. I mean, today, the Mets, they hit 2 home runs, so they're showing a little bit of power. But what you like to see is Tomas Nido going up there as the number 9 hitter, not trying to do too much, trying to get the ball up in the air into the outfield. With Jankowski at third, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get him in, and he did. So that's where we are right now. 3-1 Mets going to the bottom of the third. It is 2-3-4. Lindor, McNeil, and Alonso. Mets lead 3-1. So here we go, guys. Bottom third.
McDonald's. Mets have 3 already, 2 innings in against New Jersey native Anthony DeSclafani, as Francisco Lindor leads off the third. First pitch on the way. Lindor looks at a strike over the inner half, 0-1. Francisco with a home run in the first inning. Now we mentioned that Lindor estimated he DH'd roughly 10 times in Cleveland, and that's about right. This is the 12th time he's DH'd in his career. The 0-1 waves through a changeup, and it's 0-2. And in those now 12 games, as a DH, he has hit 7 home runs. Batting left-handed against the righty DeSclafani. 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball in the dirt, check swing. Lindor did not go around. They needed it out quickly because the ball got away from Casali. Clint Vondrak, the third base umpire, said no swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lindor hit his fourth home
technically
run
we have
year
3 30 home run guys.
29th.
Alonso, Escobar. I don't consider Lindor a 30 home run guy. 25, 26. I see him as more of a 25 home run guy. But I see what you're saying, Unconscious. But we're an offense that manufactures runs. It's just that simple. The Mets. I don't look at the Mets as a team that's looking for the 3-run home run to win a game. They're a team that I can see putting multiple runs together by manufacturing runs, sac flies, base hits, stuff like that. Oh yeah, exactly. There's a lot of guys that can hit 15. Kana, Marte, McNeil, guys like that. Even Nimmo can probably hit you 20.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Lindor. Home run off DeSclafani, the third that Lindor has hit in his career against this pitcher. 2 balls and 2 strikes to pitch. That's line toward left center field. Dubon and Peterson move over. Neither can get there. It's a base hit. Peterson
Lindor is just finding the grass everywhere.
first.
Just absolutely he's hot right now.
Peterson, as that ball was misplayed in left center field by Peterson. And had Lindor realized that
Lindor, just amazing right now. He's just
but Francisco
looking
went back
good.
to first once he saw Dubon was there for the backup.
Something weird happened out there. The two balls wind up on the field. Yeah, a ball. Was that a piece of paper or something that looked exactly like a ball that came out of the pocket of one of the outfielders? Now they could confuse the other one for a split second.
Something looked like some kind of disc or something that had come out. Some kind of piece of plastic. It was weird to see what it was. As McNeil stands in, first pitch down and in, ball one. It could have been a cheat sheet or something that the Giants outfielders were using, but it kicked around on the field near the ball, and a couple of things were flying around. 1 ball, no strikes on McNeil as Lindor stands at first. He's 2 for 2. 3-1 Mets, third inning. 1 ball, no strikes on McNeil. Chest high sets from DeSclafani, the pitch. That's lifted in the air.
McNeil hits one deep to right center.
For this one near the wall. Yastrzemski reaching up. It is off the wall. Lindor takes off at third. McNeil gets to second.
All right, we got second and third with nobody out.
He had to wait to see if Yastrzemski would catch that ball near the fence in right center. But Jeff McNeil lays it right off the wall in deep right center field for a double. And the Mets have runners on second and third with nobody out.
McNeil crushed that ball.
Starting to tee off a little bit now on Anthony DeSclafani.
AJ, what's up, buddy?
McNeil did not miss a home run by
Adventures, unfortunately, I can't show SNY because of copyright issues. Sorry about that.
To see exactly where that ball hit. Boy, just barely below the orange.
Yes, we still do, I believe, AJ. All right, guys, second and third, nobody out. McNeil just hit it. Just missed a home run by about a foot.
Just saw the replay of Jeff.
Just hit it in the biggest part of the ballpark.
When he realized he hadn't, he yelled something pungent.
He's a real maniac, isn't he? Runners on second and third, nobody out. As Alonso bats here, Mets lead by 2. The pitch. Alonso to grounder to short. Crawford backhands, looks the runners back, throws to first and gets the out. The infield was in for the Giants, and Crawford, a great shortstop, a 4-time Gold Glover, handled that hard hit ground ball and made sure the runners didn't move. So 1 out.
Alonso hit it hard, but right at Crawford. One of the better shortstops defensively in the game.
Second home run of the year, but now he has his second double instead. As the Mets try to
all right, Escobar's up 1 down. Base hit, he scores 2.
3-1.
Escobar with his first home run as a Met in the second.
Eduardo hit 28 home runs last year. This first was going to come here at some point soon. It happened today with a shot to right. First pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. Escobar also leads the National League.
Christian, member of Talking Mr. Rob. What's up, buddy?
But a joy to be around. The players and the coaching staff, the manager, they've loved having Eduardo Escobar around. He has been a
That's good, Christian. That's good.
Dose of professionalism and a great guy in the clubhouse, as well as a pretty good third baseman, a switch hitter with power. He's been a great addition to this team. 1-0. Upstairs to Escobar, ball 2.
What Showalter was saying this morning, if you open the dictionary and look up the word pro or even just baseball player, he said, you'll find Eduardo Escobar used as the definition.
Batting left-handed here against the righty DeSclafani. Escobar 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, Adventures. But the difference with the Mets last year, being 100-plus days in first place, they never felt like a team that was going to or as good as they were. It was the division being that bad. This team is much different than they were last year. It never felt right for them to be in first place because they were always not doing things right. And we don't even know how they won games sometimes. It was weird. But it's a big difference this year.
2 balls and 1 strike on Escobar. Gord takes a step off third. DeSclafani looks that way. Now the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. This has been one thing about Eduardo's game that might be improved from years past. He's already drawn 11 walks this season. He's not really been known as a guy to draw a lot of walks in a year. He's shown a much better eye this season.
I just saw the play just now, but I don't want to say nothing until they make the call.
Runners on second and third, the pitch. That's line toward the right field corner. It is hooking.
Just foul. Just foul by like that much, guys. Oh, that would have scored 2, and that would have been Escobar's third RBI of the game. Oh. Escobar is steaming hot right now too. Everything he sees is hit. Everything he hits is hard. Got to get a couple of runs here. Can't leave these guys stranded here. You got to break this game open. Can't leave the Giants hanging around here.
Middle of their order up. Alonso grounded out. Now DeSclafani's got a full count, 3-2 on Eduardo Escobar. DeSclafani taking his time, stepping back onto the rubber. Now he's ready from the third base side. Chest high set, counts 3-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
That wasn't a nice pitch to swing at.
Slider and Escobar chase.
That was ball 4.
DeSclafani with some late movement on that pitch. Really looked like an inside corner fastball until the very end. And it just dove out of the way. And Escobar swings over it for strike 3.
All right, so we got 2 outs. Second and third. Got to at least get another run here.
Big one there.
Marcana got his first base hit today in the first, and in the second.
This has been a huge improvement in the Mets game so far this year. What they are doing with runners on second and third, runners in scoring position, and 2 outs. Last year, the Mets struggled in these situations. This year, they have not. First pitch. Canna lines toward left base hit.
2-out RBI. Yes.
He'll come home. Another big 2-out hit by the Mets, producing 2 runs off the bat of Mark Canna. And the Mets take a 5-1 lead here in the third.
Telling you, that's why this Mets team is different this year. We couldn't get a 2-out hit with runners in scoring position last year if we paid somebody to do it. 5-1 Mets in the third. Beautiful piece of hitting. First pitch hitting.
2 big hits today, including a 2-run single, and they needed
Connor
to
2 for
get
2.
those 2 runs on the board and really put the heat on the Giants to get to that bullpen early.
What a pickup by Canna. As he drives in 2 after both Alonso and Escobar failed to do so. With
we missed Connor over the last couple of games.
It's up by 4. Pitch to Jankowski.
God, we got to keep on breaking this game open, guys. Give no chance for the Giants to come back in this ball game.
2 outs. After that base hit so far this year, they are batting 365.
And a lot of people thought Connor should be the fourth outfielder and Smith should be playing every day. Connor's a really good ball player.
2 outs.
Connor is just a professional hitter. That is it. 5-1 Mets, bottom third. 2 outs, man on first. Jankowski's up. Let's go.
Jankowski takes inside and low. Held his swing, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Three hits in the inning. Now 7 in this game for the Mets against right-hander DeSclafani.
Yeah, exactly, Christian.
Ball 1 strike.
I know I gave them my hard-earned money, and all they did was strike out and not get sack flies with less than 2 outs all year last year.
Count 1 and 2. Nice talk.
Lewis, honestly, I do not care about Judge or the Yankees at this point. The only time I care about them is when we're playing them. They're irrelevant. I don't think the Mets need Aaron Judge. I mean, we have the money to get him, but I honestly, I don't care at this point. If we get him, cool. If you don't, I'm fine with it.
Strikes on Jankowski, 2 outs with Canna at first. Pitch. Jankowski, it's going to pop up to the left side. Easy for Wilmer Flores. He's under it and squeezes two-handed to retire the side here in the third inning. But 2 runs for the Mets. 2-out base hit by Canna comes through in a big way. 3 hits overall in the inning. And 1 left after 3. Mets lead 5-1.
All right, guys. So the Mets lead 5-1 going to the top of the fourth. They scored in every inning so far. 1 run in the first, 2 runs in the second, and 2 runs in the third. Mark Canha coming up big. First pitch swinging. 2 men in scoring position. Base hit to left field, scoring 2 runs, giving himself 2 RBIs. So total 5-1 Mets going to the top of the fourth. This is what we have to do. You want to get a team thinking about the plane ride already and want to just get out of town? This is the way to do it. Score a lot of runs, so they're basically already thinking in their heads what they're going to be eating in Washington, D.C. when the Giants go there after this game. That's exactly what the Mets need to do. Getaway day for a team is getaway day. They can't wait to get the hell out of town. Yes, Angel, I agree. Ken, exactly, I agree. I'd rather wait for Soto than worry about Judge. Soto is younger and better. Yeah, but you know what? Again, I'm not too worried about Judge at this moment. I'm really not. I would rather have Soto. I would rather wait an extra 2 years and get Soto at 6 years old, 25 years old. I mean, look, Judge has the pressure of that his contract over his head, and he hasn't been performing well for the Mets. I mean, for the Yankees. Sorry. Yeah, and DeGrom MRI is on Monday. Soto, after this year, I think he has 3 years left, 2 or 3 years. But yeah, so it's a big day on Monday to see if Jacob DeGrom's MRI comes back better, and if he is ready to start throwing, he should be back if everything works out by June 1st. All right, guys, so going to the top of the fourth, Mets lead 5-1.
A couple of runs in the bottom of the third. Presenting us to the top of the fourth as Brandon Crawford leads off against Carlos Carrasco. Crawford hit by a pitch his first time. First pitch, fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Carrasco needed only 6 pitches to get through a perfect third inning. Right time for him after throwing 34 in the first 2. A ball's and a strike on Crawford. Pitch, swing and a miss, good changeup. And it's 0-2. 3 infielders on the right. McNeil's on the outfield grass, backed up in shallow right field. Now with 2 strikes, Escobar will go toward the shortstop spot. Some space on the left side of the infield, as we routinely see. 0-2 the pitch. Over but low, ball 1. 4th inning, sponsored by Cars for Kids. Cars with a K to donate your car today. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brandon Crawford. Followed by Flores and Estrada here.
I agree, Jason.
Top of the 4th inning. Pitch. Outside and low, 2-2.
5-1 Mets, Danny.
Scoreboard update
In the
brought to you by
fourth.
the New York Lottery. Newest scratch-off games are on sale now. Try your luck today, and you can bring home a win. Yankees trying to sweep a series in Detroit. They're down 1-0 in the fourth.
You already
Lines
see.
on Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot to put game down. Sorry about that.
Swing and a miss, strike.
You
3.
already
Good
see
changeup
the
again.
batters on the Giants now.
Carrasco
It's
punches
like
out
they're
Crawford.
like
Strikeout
taking
for
weak
Carlos
swings.
Carrasco.
I'm telling you, when you put the pressure on him and you score a lot of runs,
14 innings this year.
it's a team, especially on getaway day, they just want to get the hell out of there.
Flores.
5-1 Mets, top
Tigers have a
4.
1-0 lead. Cabrera's 0 for 2. He's flied to left and struck out. His next hit will be career hit number
I agree, Lloyd,
3,000.
100%. A whole new look team for the
Came up
Mets.
as a 20-year-old in
Professional ball
2003
players they got in
with
this
the
team.
Marlins. First
No
pitch,
drama,
Flores
just
takes
baseball.
inside, ball 1. We'll join the 3,000 hit club, which is pretty exclusive as it is, and an even more exclusive club of having both 500
Estefania,
homers
I'm
and
glad you
3,000 hits.
enjoyed the page. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Now
Don't
to
work too
foul line
hard.
of third, 1 ball, 1 strike. Certainly the best Venezuelan-born player of all time. And the guy will be an absolute first ballot Hall of Famer. An incredible career, and a huge achievement for Miguel Cabrera as he gets 3,000 hits sometime very soon, maybe today. 1-1. Flores, it's a grounder off the end of his bat towards short. Guillorme surrounds it, grabs it, throws it in time. Flores retired, 2 up, 2 down. As Carrasco, since the RBI single by Estrada, has now retired 8 in a row. Cleveland trying to beat the White Sox again. They swept a doubleheader against them yesterday. And they're up 2-1 in the fourth today. Franmil Reyes, a 2-run homer. White Sox sputtering a little bit to start the year. Their fans are grumpy after the White Sox were...
Ken, I don't know if he's doing well or not.
complacent in the
Honestly, I haven't
offseason.
really been checking. Hi, Sophia. How you doing? Thank you for tuning
fan
in.
base thought they should. First pitch to Estrada. Breaking ball strike 0-1. White Sox were the division winners in the American League Central last year, and still have a good team this year. See how it goes for them. No balls and a strike pitch. Breaking ball catches the front door. A strike on the inside corner. 2 strikes on Tyro Estrada. 2 outs. Bases empty. It's the 4th inning as the Mets lead 5-1 against the Giants. Carrasco sets. Bell tie. Works from the stretch at all times. Is 0-2. The bloop shot towards shallow left. Coming in for it is Canna. He's under it. Canna makes the catch.
All right, guys. So Carrasco, another quick inning, getting through the 4th and the 5th, 6th, and 7th hitter for the Giants really quickly. So we're going to the bottom of the 4th. Mets leading 5-1. Sorry, I'm a little sketchy right now, guys. It's gonna pop back on in a few seconds. Sorry about that. So it's looking good for the Mets right now. I know the Wi-Fi is a little choppy. It's a little in and out right now. I look like a robot, but give it a little second, 1 or 2 seconds, guys. So there we go, guys. A nice start. Low pitch count for Carrasco right now. Again, I was expecting Carrasco to give up a little couple of runs there. So, but hey, I expected him to give up 3 runs or so. But right now, he's just pitching out of his mind right now. This is the Carrasco we thought we were getting when we made that trade with the Indians, or now the Guardians, for Cookie Carrasco and Francisco Lindor. I haven't heard anything about Joey Lucchesi at the moment. Honestly, I have not. You're still going through the Tommy John thing, so I'm assuming sometime after the All-Star break, most likely. That's the only thing I can think of at this point when it comes to Lucchesi. Oh, Patrick, no problem, buddy. I really appreciate it. I'm glad I can give you a little bit of enjoyment of the Mets game in New Hampshire. Sophia, we'll see. You know what? Like I said right now, the Mets rotation looks really good right now. Again, it's always a plus to have DeGrom. I mean, we get DeGrom in this rotation. Well, you know what? You might as well just give us the trophy. All right, that's a little cocky right there from a Mets fan who haven't won since '86. But, I mean, if you put DeGrom in this rotation, it's going to be a very hard team to beat. Just that simple. Thank you, Lloyd. All right, guys, so we're going to the bottom of the fourth. Mets lead 5-0. DeSclafani still on the mound for the Giants.
Manufactured a run in the third inning. A lot of good things from the offense in this game. As Anthony DeSclafani goes to work. First pitch, breaking ball low and in, ball 1. Lindor's got a couple of runs scored and a homer. Escobar hit a homer. Mark Canha, a huge 2-out, 2-run hit. Cash in on a second and third. Nobody out rally in the third inning. 1-0. May take low, ball 2, but shouldn't be lost how the Mets manufactured that other run in the second inning after Canha singled. Jankowski reached on a fielder's choice. 2-0. Yorme looks at a strike, 2-1, and then the Mets with good speed at first and a good contact man at the plate put on a hit and run. Yorme executed
if everything works out, he's supposed to be throwing not too long after the MRI if it goes through well.
It's a liner toward left, pretty deep. Peterson
and if it goes well, you stop. I would say if everything goes great, June 1st. If it's a little bit of a setback, maybe a little bit later than June. Late June.
Mets using the bottom of their order find a way to score once they had the good speed of Jankowski on. Now Nito bats, had that sacrifice fly his first time up. Nito catching Carlos Carrasco today has exclusively caught Max Scherzer to this point.
No problem, Holborn. No problem.
That's the way it's going to be, but 3 starts.
Don't forget, guys, if you're just tuning in, don't forget to hit on that like button. Only the 4th inning. We got a long way to go into this game, so we want more people to come into the stream and hang out with us.
Last year, maybe you would have
Geraldo, all the way from the Pacific Northwest. How you doing from Oregon, Dan? Thank you for tuning in.
Could just be coincidence, but last year Casale had the best catcher's ERA in baseball. He had a 2.72 ERA with the pitchers throwing to him. And yet DeSclafani's ERA with Casale was much higher than Posey, 1-1. Fouled back 1-2. DeSclafani's ERA when Casale caught him last year was almost 6. And when Posey caught him, which was most of the time, it was well under 3. Now today, DeSclafani pitching to Casale, and the Mets have 5 runs. 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Could be some preferential issues, to which I'm sure Gabe Kapler would say to DeSclafani, get over it. 1 out, nobody on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch. Swinging a chopper toward
Bellevue, Long Island, New York. I'm not too far from you. Queens, New York, right here.
Today already, so tomorrow, free fries, medium fries with any purchase.
Yeah, if he says, I think Scherzer's going to be fine. He's a bulldog. He's not a guy that every little, discomfort here, he's going to keep pitching. He pitches through playing a lot.
Now nobody on.
I think he's going to be fine for us.
It's the bottom of the fourth as the Mets have a 5-1 lead. Sclafani, big right-hander, 2-2 coming. Bouncer foul off the end of Nito's bat. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Bristol, Connecticut. All right. Where's everybody from? Put it up. Put it up.
Outfield shaded to right for Nito.
Yeah, there's no reason to rush the ground back.
Swing and a miss.
It takes them until July. Fine, no problem. Brooklyn in the house. Estefania. Gotta have some coffee. Not too far away. Port Orange, Florida. All right, that's cool. Got a couple Floridas in the house. I'm a little bit jealous of the weather.
And remember, Peerless Boilers, America's best built.
Estefania, we got to get coffee in Brooklyn, Miami Beach. That sounds even better.
Left his last time, grounded to short his first time up.
Toucan, Queens, New York, but live in San Diego now. Oh, even better weather. Middleton, Delaware. From Hawaii. Okay, he wins. Brad wins. Paris, France. Wow. Jap, that's awesome.
Empty seats in the bleachers and up top, but too bad for a Thursday afternoon, especially in April. The 0-1. Nimmo, it's a slow chopper toward first, handled by Belt. Shovels to DeSclafani covering first for the out. And the Giants have their first.
All right, guys, so we are going to the top of the 5th. Mets didn't do nothing in that inning. First inning, they didn't score a run in. That's okay. Mets still lead 5-1. Oh, South Dakota. Oh, Nebraska. Okay, look at that. All around the country. East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. Central part of the country. You're just all over the place. Love it. Christian just likes to move everywhere. All right, once again, guys, the Mets are leading 5-1 going to the top of the 5th. Carrasco is looking good. The Mets are, finally didn't score runs, which is fine. Well, Cookie has no win as a Met right now. If he wins today, he'll have his first win for this year. Oh, a lot of people don't want to see the, want to get cable. I don't blame you guys. Oh, we got Madrid, Spain. Look at that. We got France in the house. We got Spain in the house. We got people from Europe. Let's go. I love it. Ventures, you've been along a long time. Oh, okay, Todd, cool. So there we go, guys. We got Nebraska. We got Spain, France. Where else we got here? We got South Dakota. We got Miami. We got other parts of Florida. That's awesome. Hawaii, Allentown, PA, Delaware, Atlanta. Love it. Gotta love it, guys. Gotta love it. And we got New York, Oregon as well. Look at that. There we go, guys. That's what I'm talking about. This channel is global all of a sudden. All right, guys. So we're going to the top of the 5th. Mets lead 5-1. Game is back on. And we got Israel in the house. Colombia in the house. Bogota. All right. Here we go. South America. Middle East. Let's go. Thank you to all you guys for tuning in from wherever you are. I know in some places it's probably the middle of the night.
For the 5th inning, here's Howie.
Jersey, California, let's go.
With a fresh count, Carrasco hits the outside corner with a fresh slider.
Game day coming back up, guys.
And the count 0-1 as we come to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth, proudly presented, proudly in particular today by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. The 0-1 looped in the air, shallow right. Here comes Jankowski, makes the running catch shoulder high. 1 man away. And so that is now 10 in a row retired by Mets starter Carlos Carrasco. Face Kurt Casale next. So why are we so particularly proud
DR in the house too? There you go.
To have Bigelow Tea sponsor the Bob Murphy broadcast booth. It's not about Murph. It's about tea. You know what today is National Tea Day?
Tuning in from Thailand. That's even better.
TEA. What is it? Sesame Street? National Tea Day. You're not a tea drinker, are you?
A little bit.
Lewis,
Okay,
CDMX.
no, Matt's
Nice.
not much of a tea
I
drinker.
prefer it to coffee, that's for sure.
Okay, here's Caselli. Take it for a called strike, a slider, 0-1. Why is coffee the peanut butter of liquids for you?
Joe
Yeah.
Pot, how's
It's not
Cleon
great.
Jones doing?
That's how it works.
Pretty much.
You can get used to it, you know. Helps you in the morning. But Bigelow T. they'll give
Jankowski
you
is definitely a keeper. I'm telling you,
the 0-1,
he's
take it
perfect
low
for this
outside,
team
1-1.
as a fourth outfielder.
English breakfast.
And you know what? He stepped in well for sure. When Connor was out with COVID,
Green tea's got a little caffeine to it. It's
you know,
good for
doing
you.
well, bunt hits,
But
stealing
it is
bases,
National
defense
Tea
is
Day,
excellent.
whatever that means.
It's going to be very
1-1
hard
Caselli,
decision for the
swing and a
Mets
miss at the
to
slider.
see what they're going to do in May
And
1st
the
when
count, 1
the
ball
roster
and 2
goes down from
strikes.
28
You
to
know,
26.
I keep looking at that pitch and I see slider from behind home plate. And they could
Frankie, what's up, buddy? A member of Talking
and
Mets
yet
and
that
Rod.
ball just fades away from a right-hand hitter. It is a great pitch. And in particular, it's worked today splendidly for Carrasco. The 1-2 swung on and
Carlos
missed strike
Carrasco
three, and he got
feeling
there
it today
a
with
slider.
another strikeout.
More conventional
His
slider.
5th strikeout of
And
the
so
game.
Carrasco rolling
Just
along
looking
here
good.
now.
The
As
Carrasco,
there are
we
2 men
all
away,
thought what we were
11
getting.
straight, retired
Rafael,
by
Puerto
Carlos.
Rico in the
He's got
house. There we
5
go.
strikeouts. And back to the top of the order at Mike Yastrzemski. So 5 strikeouts, that's 18 strikeouts. And let's see, 15 and a third innings. And he's only walked 2 batters. This is the Carlos Carrasco the Mets were hoping for. Yastrzemski, left-hand hitter, takes a fastball for a called strike. And this 5th inning is sponsored by Elec 825, building our bounce back. Get kind of cloudy and overcast. I didn't think that was in the playbook for today. Outfield around towards right, the 0-1. Hit in the air to the opposite field. Cutting over Canada, the left fielder, and he makes the catch.
Nice catch by Connor coming in for the 3rd out. Quick inning again for Cookie Carrasco. Going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mets still lead 5-1. Carrasco just mowing them down like the Giants aren't even a good team right now. It's amazing right now. Again, this is the Carrasco we thought we were getting from Cleveland last year. And I'm telling you guys, I said this earlier before the game started. Cookie Carrasco is the X factor in this rotation. Because if Carrasco can pitch the way maybe he won't pitch to this level, but even if he pitches somewhat close to this level, along with Bassett and Scherzer and McGill, this team is going to be very hard to beat. And that's without Jacob deGrom. We win today. This team is 10-4 through 14 games going to Arizona. 10-4 without Jacob deGrom. And if we have a rest of the month of April where we're 8, 9, even 10 games above 500 and leading the division, deGrom can come back if everything goes well. He can come back in June somewhere. And I'm telling you, this team's going to be very hard to beat. And you know what? This is a team that's not going to screw Jacob deGrom and not score runs for him. How many games did deGrom lose? 1-0, 2-1, because the Mets couldn't score. This team is going to score runs for him. That's why it's so unfortunate for the Mets and Jacob deGrom to get injured right before the end of spring training. And like I said, we were all worried. But you know what? That's why Max Scherzer was so important, because of the fact of if Jacob deGrom goes down, which he did, Max Scherzer can pick it right up, and he's your ace until deGrom comes back. It's just perfect. So they're looking at the road ahead in SNY. The next 3 series is Arizona for 3, Cardinals for 3, and then we play the Phillies. So it's at home April 29th to May 1st. So once again, guys, Arizona, we got to take advantage of that team. Them, and then you got the Cardinals for 3, and then we come home and face the Phillies. The struggling Phillies, if I might add. So there we go, guys. So here we go, guys. Bottom of the 5th, Mets are up.
Off the glove of the catcher, Caselli. So quickly, the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Mets will leave here for Phoenix after the game.
I see you, Lloyd.
David Peterson will be on the mound Friday night to begin that 3-game series with the
Well,
Diamondbacks.
all indications that deGrom should be fine until we got to wait until the MRI. So no news right now is known until he has the MRI on Monday, Lloyd.
Mets
I'm sorry,
played a
not Lloyd.
doubleheader
Toucan.
Tuesday, so that means they need a pitcher for Sunday. Right now, Tyler McGill is listed, but I don't think he's going to go Sunday. The 0-2 taken inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Buck Showalter was talking about giving McGill a little extra rest along the way, owing to his big innings jump last year. 1-2 curveball, hand on the ground.
Francisco Lindor, 3 for 3 on the day so far. Only the 5th inning. He is absolutely on fire right now. Cannot take that bat out of the lineup.
But anyway, I would suspect that it'll be Scherzer on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting most of the West Coast, not really the West Coast road games, but just playing the West Coast teams quickly. I like that a lot because last year, playing the Dodgers, the Giants, the Padres in August absolutely destroyed this team. That West Coast trip is terrible. And I was at most of them.
They want to stretch him out a little more through 45
Lindor
pitches, I think it was
hot
yesterday. They want to get him
right
into
now.
the 60s.
I know that was
Here's
corny, but I
McNeil,
just felt like
left-hand
saying it.
batter. First pitch is taken low, ball 1, a slider. I wonder if Jeff might be looking to yank one here because he almost hit one out. Hit one off the top of the right field fence his last time up, and he was barking when he realized that ball didn't go out. That's the Power Report, sponsored by the Triacura dealers.
Seriously, the Mets
full of Wheaties
have the best broadcasts on TV and definitely the best radio announcers as of right now. It's just so good to listen to these guys and Gary, Keith, and Ron and well. It's great. They're just entertaining.
The Giants 8-3, leading 5-1.
Andre, I'm not too excited, but you definitely can be happy because this team is 100% different than last year. I never felt confident last year that this team was as good as their record was and being in first place for all that time. I just didn't feel confident. Right now, I feel confident because this team is much different. I trust Buck to not make it spiral out of control when things go bad. Because again, the Mets will go through a losing streak. The Mets will go through a rough stretch. Absolutely. Every team does.
When they need him in the
but it's just a matter of how you deal with it and how you come back. And with your pitching staff as the way they are, you're not going to have a lot of 2-3 game losing streaks, maybe more, because of your good rotation. I don't see this team going through a long losing streak like sometimes they did last year. I don't see it with this team. We'll definitely have bad stretches. Absolutely. Every team goes through, even the best teams. You know, the majority, 99.9% of all teams win 60 and lose 60. It's the other 42 that matter. We all know that.
Fastball is high, ball 3.
We asked Jeff about playing the outfield. He says it's easy. To hit fly balls, you just go.
Yeah, the Mets did have one of the hardest schedules, the hardest schedule last year.
A gifted athlete, as all of these guys are, and you don't overthink it. Well, McNeil's case, I suppose it does become.
Lisa, let's go Mets.
He's made it look pretty easy. 3-1, the pitch. On the inside corner, a called strike, a sinker, 3-2. Not sure that Jeff is enamored of that call.
Well, you know what? I feel you're kind of right, too, Ken. It does seem similar to 2006. A lot of veteran guys on the team.
Will take personally.
You know, Cliff Floyd.
Can he get thrown out for thinking?
Oh, that wasn't good.
Cleon Jones and others tell this story, and I don't know if it's true. First, it'll be a payoff pitch to McNeil. Lindor runs. The pitch swung on and missed strike 3. Casale's throw right there. And Lindor is tagged out by Crawford. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't remind you of 2006. A couple of young guys with like Wright and Reyes, and then he had Floyd, and I mean, it's just amazing.
New York's award-winning station for breaking news, WCBS and
you had
WCBS
Leduca.
FM HD2, New York.
Howie Rose, Wayne Randazzo.
You know, Beltran's somewhat of a veteran guy.
1, 2 out, nobody on last of the 5th. Pete Alonso, the batter. Pete 0 for 2.
Johnny is too hard to figure out, but I mean, the way the Mets are going, it'll probably be what the Mets are trying to do at the deadline at this moment. I would say the bullpen, probably.
Umpire said, I don't think so. Cleon says, good. The 1-0, fastball low, 2-0. Because I think you're a lousy
Yeah.
up.
I was actually at a lot of those West Coast
That's if
games.
you
I made the
believe
trip
it. I'm not so
to
sure
LA
I
to
do,
watch them
because I've heard a
get
couple
destroyed
of
by the
other
Dodgers.
somewhat similar stories over the years.
And it was bad. Yeah, Mets
that
Extra
little
Christian was
kid,
great.
see
I
where that
remember
gets
listening
you.
to that when I was playing
2-0 to
baseball.
Alonso on the outside
When I was playing
corner,
for my
called
school
strike.
years back.
Slider from DeSclafani, who's been in all the way so far, allowing 5 runs on 8 hits. Carrasco rolling. He's retired 12 straight, allowing just 3
It
hits.
depends, Johnny, who's
2-1
available.
pitch.
You know,
Jump foul.
I mean, if you're looking, the
Rolla,
Brewers aren't playing that well right now. I would look for
Ball
Josh
goes up
Hader
the
if that's
third base
really
line in foul
possible.
ground. So,
You know, a
it's
guy
2-2
like that.
to Pete.
You know, what about a Mark Melancon, who we've seen pitch for the Diamondbacks in the first home series of the year? A Mark Melancon is a guy that probably be on the trade block going forward.
Over the course of an entire game. That would be a lot of fun. It never happened, of course, but it'd be lively. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball inside 3-2. And I don't mean just from the standpoint of arguing or nativity. There's a lot of dialogue, and some home plate umps are chattier than others. Some players are chattier than others. Wayne's got a cousin, Tony Randazzo, who's a major league umpire. Payoff pitch to Alonso, hit on the ground right side, base hit going into right field.
Well, Hader's the gem that everybody would want. But again, it's not going to be easy because there's going to be a lot of teams after him. If the Brewers are not fighting for a playoff spot, he's going to be on the number one on the list on a lot of teams. So he's not going to be cheap. That's for sure. Oh yeah, this rotation is much better than it was in 2006.
In terms of,
you know, on top of 2006, we lost Pedro Martinez for the playoffs. We had freaking El Duque.
Outgoing and nice person.
I mean, it was just crazy.
Here's Escobar. He takes inside ball 1. I mean, I know he's your cousin.
No, but he really is. I mean, he's not like, you know, Joe West to sit out there and say what he wants to say and, you know, chide the players or do whatever.
Oh, well, it depends. You know, they might just, you know, rip up his arbitration years and give him an extension. Probably sometime next year, I would think.
Ball two.
Sure, he's got some. You know, he's certainly run with those umpiring crews for a long time. Tony's been in the big league since the 1999 purge.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny, absolutely. Arizona's going to be a team that's going to be trading away a couple of guys to get some prospects back. And Melancon's one of them. You know, when I was at the game on Saturday with my dad, and we were talking. Melancon would be definitely a trade chip that the Mets can look at for the bullpen. So that's something we have to look at too. Hader, Melancon, of course, there's other guys as well.
Mets leading by 4, 5-1.
Fire blazing. Carrasco is looking sharp. He's looking like the Carrasco we thought we were getting last year. It's great to see that.
Escobar started to.
And that's also true, too, Ken. They can hit up and down the lineup for sure.
Head down to first base. But Alfonso Marquez said strike 1. DeSclafani ready to go. The pitch. That one's outside.
All right, guys. So the Mets got 2 outs with 2 men on. And see if the Mets can get another nice 2-out hit. And guess who got it last time? Marcana. And guess who's up? Marcana.
But that strike him out, throw him out, double play has.
I agree, Ken. You got to worry about now. Mets are winning now. And then when the Mets are probably in a losing streak, we'll worry about that then.
Who's 2 for 2 coming up, and he had a big 2-out single in the 3rd inning. That's the first walk that DeSclafani is.
Oh yeah, there's always competition. Like, oh wow, I gotta pick it up. God, I got Scherzer and McGill pitching well, and everybody else pitching well. I gotta step up. You know, it's competition.
Fouls it back to the screen, a slider, the count 0-1.
And just think, guys, these guys are fighting to stay in the rotation. Because if DeGrom comes back when he's supposed to, somebody's leaving the rotation to put DeGrom in that spot. So you're basically fighting for that rotation spot.
Talked about him.
No, it's like last man standing.
Young Jerry's familiar with that hard, heavy sinker. And a decent slider as well. Marte got a strikeout on that slider. 0-1 to Canna. The pitch. Breaking ball.
Absolutely, Johnny. They're definitely going to be tough. But you know what? Everybody don't. You know, the Giants are going to be tough, and they are. But the Mets seem to be, you know, sticking around and playing pretty well against a team that won 107 games last year.
Can a 5 out of 10 with men in scoring position? That's a 500 clip. His on base percentage exactly 500. And an 0-2 hole here. The pitch to him. Oh, roll it a third to his left. Flores picks it up. Goes the short way to second for the force play, and that retires the side.
All right, guys. So going to the top of the sixth, Mets still lead 5-1. Didn't get that 2-out hit that we were expecting with a runner in scoring position, but that's okay. Rafael, again, look, Francisco Alvarez is raking right now. We all know that, but there's no reason to rush a guy that you're projecting that probably will be here next year. Probably about 90% chance he'll be up next year with Brett Beatty and possibly even Ronnie Mauricio, depending on what the Mets do at the trade deadline. I still feel like they're going to trade Ronnie Mauricio for a big piece if needed. Listen, I will trade Ronnie Mauricio to get Josh Hader here. That would exactly what I would do. But when it comes to Francisco Alvarez, there's no need to rush Francisco Alvarez if you don't have to. If the Mets are playing well and McCann and Nito are not hurting you to the point where their defense is lacking at that point, and we already know their offense isn't that good, there's no need to rush Alvarez if you don't need to. This team's good enough where you don't necessarily need Alvarez like the Mets needed Michael Conforto in 2015. The Mets could have hit a lick in 2015. So to help with some type of spark on this team, Michael Conforto came over. He's basically still wet behind the ears, basically just coming out of college. And the Mets brought him up because of his sweet left-handed swing. That's what the Mets did. And that's when the Mets made all those trades going forward with Uribe and Kelly Johnson. And then the big one was Cespedes. Addison Reed fixing the bullpen. The Mets made a lot of moves during that trade deadline. Now that's what I expect from the Mets this year. Whatever they need, I think they're going to get. When it comes to Alvarez, don't rush the kid. He got a lot better behind the plate, blocking balls, framing pitches. He's gotten a lot better with that. That's what you want to see. Again, I don't have no doubt he's going to hit in the big leagues. But you don't want to rush the guy because if he comes up and he has a tough go of it, now you got to send him back down. Might lose a little confidence. You don't want that. If the Mets don't necessarily need him, there's no point in rushing him. I can see him up here next year, guaranteed. Going to the top of the six, guys. Mets lead 5-1.
92-mile-an-hour fastball sponsored by
Corey,
Spectrum Mobile.
move to Florida from Long Island. I don't blame you. That's me in about probably around this time I'll be in Florida. I'll be moving.
The pitch. Belt takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike. The change.
Toucan. You know what? Paul Duca was pretty damn good.
Giants have had.
He was that fiery guy. Luduka was pretty good. I mean, he wasn't Gary Carter. Don't get me wrong, but Luduka was a pretty good catcher for us. Since then, well, it's been tough.
Back to the backstop. I caught a piece of Tomas Nito on the way.
Carrasco's line so far: 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 5 strikeouts so far.
Carlos Carrasco is trying to do something here in this 6th inning that he has not done in either of his first 2 starts, and that is get out of the inning.
We would definitely be patient with Alvarez, no problem. Even if he does slump.
History, but 5 2/3 innings in Washington, 5 innings last time.
But you don't want to mess with the guy's confidence. He's worked really hard in the minors, getting better as a catcher defensively. Roberto, a member of Talking Mets Rob, how you doing? So far, so good for Carrasco.
1 man out, 13 in a row.
But yeah, that's the thing with Alvarez. You don't want to overdo it with these guys. These guys are just raking in AA right now. Don't mess with them right now. There's no need to. The Mets are in first place. They're looking like they can be 6 games over 500 after today. There's no need to rush these guys. Even though McCann and Nito frustrate you, if they're not hurting the team, there's no point in making a move like that, where it can actually be a negative if Alvarez comes up and doesn't do well. You don't want them to lose that confidence. Let them develop more and more. They can only get better in the minors. Him and Beatty and Mauricio.
The Giants played in New York, 1957, but this group has younger fans
Cookies,
as well.
all his pitches working. That split change is just nasty all day so far.
That's in for a called strike. A changeup 0-2. I forget what they call themselves. The San Francisco, for lack of a better term, it's the San Francisco/New York Giants fan club. Here's the 0-2. Ruff takes outside ball one.
Yep, you know, I have no
Very
problem with him
visible
now.
in the lower
If I'm Buck Showalter, I wouldn't let him go
stands in
too
left center
far.
field, wearing a lot of
You know,
their
if I could
orange
see him
Giants
going
material,
7 with no problem.
I've not seen or
I don't
heard
think
from
they'll
them
give
this
him
week.
more than that. I mean, I don't think there's any reason
Look that
to,
up. There's a specific name
you
for
know,
their group.
waste. You know, God forbid if he gets into trouble, you don't want to,
Foul
you know,
back to the
mess.
screen.
You know,
Something to do with
let him come out with
New
a good
York
start.
Giants
7 innings is
Historical
more than fine.
Society or something like that.
I have noticed.
Wednesday,
that
I
over
don't know if the
years,
rookie
there's
catcher will
not
mess
a
that up.
similar one, though, for
But
the
again,
Dodgers.
why
No,
risk
which
it?
I
You know what I'm
kinda
saying?
like, because it seems when you talk to old baseball fans in New York, so many more
Yeah,
seem
Huntley,
to lament
unfortunately,
the loss of the
you know,
Dodgers
then they
than the
tried to play him
Giants,
at first base, which is, I mean,
Giants have their
sorry,
fans
in the
too.
outfield, which was a disaster.
Here's the 1-2.
I like
Deep
Todd Huntley.
and
Number
foul down the
9,
left
Todd
field
Huntley.
line and out of play. Obviously, if they had more, Horace Stoneham might not have upped and moved them. They were not drawing by 1957.
Carrasco was just
But
mowing him
just 3
down.
years before that, they won the World Series. And they had a guy by the name of Willie Mays.
That would've
6
brought some people
strikeouts
out.
for Carrasco.
1-2 pitch. Swung at and missed.
Top 5
strike 3.
pitchers.
Carrasco
Well, if
gets
the
him
ground
with
comes back,
with what they
look,
put up as a
it
slider,
probably at
and
this
it
moment
looks
be
like a
Taiwan
slider,
Walker
and they've been calling that a change
out of
earlier in
this
the game.
rotation. So you'll have
And if they're
Scherzer,
two
DeGrom,
different pitches, then
McGill,
picks are being
Carrasco,
because
and
they're that close in resemblance.
I'm sorry, let's
But
see, what was this here?
15 in a row,
And
14
Bassett.
in a row
That's it.
retired by Carrasco. Patience.
I think
John
Walker would be the
Peterson is
odd man
next.
out, but at that moment, it's
6
going to be who's going to be
strikeouts for
pitching bed
Carlos.
in the 4 and 5 spot.
Giants are just not squaring anything up at all against Carrasco.
Mets trying to win a 4-game series, which is not all that easy. So here's Peterson. First pitch to the left-hand batter. Popped up. Shallow left. Long run for Escobar Lindor. But in comes Canna and the left fielder, Martin.
All right, guys. Carrasco mowing him down. Another 1-2-3 inning for Carrasco. He has 4 straight 1-2-3 innings so far, mowing him down. Has not given up a hit since the 2nd inning. Carrasco has just been dealing today, keeping the Mets lead to 5-1, going to the bottom of the 6th. Mets lead 5-1, looking good for our Mets right now. Again, the game is not over until it's over, but guess what, guys? The Mets are showing that they are the real deal so far early on in the season. Estefani has been a fan since Piazza. That's awesome. Yeah, you know, Toucan, again, I don't see them making him go past 7 innings. Again, I would do it. I'm one of those guys that let him go until he can't go anymore. That's just me. But again, I wouldn't be shocked if they take him out after 7. You know, it also gives a little bit of work for guys who hasn't pitched in a couple of days. You know, Ottavino, you want to get him a little bit of reps. Maybe you want to see, I don't know, pick a pitcher. You know, somebody who hasn't worked in a couple of days. Give them a little bit of work so they're ready to go for the Arizona series. Yep, 15 straight retired by Carrasco. Beautiful, beautiful. Underwater is a Pirates fan. Yeah, but, you know, it's your owner that's the problem, man. That's unfortunate. You know what? The Giants don't suck. Like I said, every team's going to have moments like this. Like the Mets, at some point this year, are going to be what the Giants are going through right now. During the series. That's just what's going to happen. Yeah, exactly, Mauricio. You can definitely go through 8 innings with no problem. Oh, well, you got to remember, Johnny, Peterson is stepping in for Walker. So when Walker comes back, Peterson's probably going to the bullpen. Or, again, you're going to be moving at May 1st. It's going to go to 28 on the roster to 26. So that's going to be a problem as well. So, again, it's when Jacob deGrom comes back, if he comes back in a month or so, it's going to be who's pitching the worst between Carrasco and Walker. That's the guy that's probably going to go into the bullpen as a long man or a spot start here and there. Or if there's a doubleheader, they'll get a spot start there. That's what's probably going to happen. You're not taking Bassett out. You're not taking Scherzer out, obviously. And McGill seems like he's worth keeping him in the rotation. Again, he could be struggling at some point, and you might take McGill out of the rotation, put him in the bullpen. But that's we'll worry about that when we get to that point. Right now, we're still trying to win a game here. So, bottom of the 6, Mets leading 5-1. Here we go, guys.
Working to the bottom third of the Mets batting order, starting with Travis Jankowski. And the slender right-hander delivers a breaking ball in for a called strike. Nothing at once, so he starts him off with a slider, an 82-mile-an-hour slider. Jankowski has hit into a fielder's choice and popped out to third. On one. The pitch. Hit on the ground to the right side to his left, the second baseman, Tyro Estrada, has it, and he throws to first in time to get Jankowski one away.
New York Giants Preservation Society.
Okay.
The name of that group.
Thank you. That's exactly what they're trying to do, preserve the relevance of the Giants in the New York market.
They carry around a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, Giants are a great team. The Mets, look, it could have easily went the other way. No, the Giants could have won 3 out of 4. They could have swept. You know, it just shows that the Mets are. Look, the Giants rolled over the Mets last year. You know, like they were a piece of crap. The Mets are showing that they're going to be a team to be dealt with in the National League, and that's what you want to do to these teams. Giants are a hell of a good team. But the Mets are showing their strength right now. Like, hey, we're going to be around here too. So make sure when you look to the side here, we're going to be right next to you. That's what they're doing right now. And that's why this series is so important for the Mets. This series is not that important for the Giants. The Giants know they're good. This is a test for the Mets to say, hey, we are good. You know, got to even make them believe a little bit. That's why it's so important.
Fox was, 534? Yeah. Mantle would eventually get to 536, but I think if I remember right, in those days, it was Ruth, Fox, Ted Williams had 521, and then I think you got to Mel Ott.
Jerry, do you know when that
Eddie Matthews
autograph signing in and where is it? I would love to do that.
Low, 3-1. I mean, I'm talking about
prehistoric.
No, come on, man. Okay, so I'm talking about 1961.
Eddie Matthews wasn't even on the list yet.
He wasn't. 3-1 the count to Guillorme. Now the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 4.
Well, right, Angel, so you know I have the Dodgers and Toronto in the World Series. That was my prediction before the season started. When I did my playoff World Series prediction.
Is he even in the top 20?
Thank you, Jerry.
Probably not, right?
No. I would say off the top of my head.
Hojo, one of my favorite players. That's awesome. Howard Johnson. Again, I was very young when he played for the Mets. I don't remember a lot. I liked him. Ray Ordonez was my favorite player because I grew up around that time. But
that was second all time, right? Although by then Mays might have been ahead of him, but it was close. Here's Nito, shows bunt.
Zach Wilson. You know what's funny? Underwater with Zach Wilson. So most of you guys know I work for Carrasco. I'm a forklift driver. Zach Wilson did like a it wasn't a signing, but it was like it was some type of promotion thing he was doing in a parking lot at my warehouse. And we didn't have access to go next to him, but he was promoting a product or something for the NFL. I seen him, but we couldn't approach him. It sucked. So that would have been cool. I would have definitely made him sign something.
In the 60s. By the time they were done in the late 60s or early to mid 70s, they created much more of a traffic jam up there around the top. And of course, Henry Aaron. Here's the 0-1. Punch foul
Brooklyn,
off
New
the
York.
hands
Okay.
to the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes to Nito, with the Mets leading 5-1. 1 out, last of the 6th inning. Luis Guillorme at first.
Even Mays isn't in the top 5 anymore. Thanks to Barry Bonds.
Jerry, I didn't see where'd you put it. Sorry, a lot of people are typing. I saw Brooklyn, New York. That's all I saw. I don't know if you typed something else because I can't find you now.
0-2 to Nito. Outfield around towards right. He has good power the other way. The 0-2 on the way. Low outside, ball 1. I think more responsibly, I would say he has occasional power the other way.
Yeah. I agree, Fire Blazing. But again, if we would have signed Rodon, we might not have had traded for Bassett. So it's kind of a win-win or lose-lose in that situation. Well, I think Bassett's going to be really good for us.
Once a long while.
I always think of Piazza as that guy who could really go to right center.
Oh, yeah. Especially against Trevor Hoffman. He had a few that way against Trevor.
Yeah, I know. And unfortunately,
Marte's
they
1-2.
weren't allowed to.
Swung at
And I
and
was
missed
on the
strike
clock,
three.
so I
Got him with
probably
that
would have gotten in
slider.
trouble. But
So
yeah,
2 men away
they
for
blocked it off.
strikeout
I don't know if it
for
was a
Marte, back to the
commercial
top of the
or
order,
something,
and Nimmo.
but he was definitely
Scoreboard
promoting the
update
product.
brought to you by Food Bazaar, feeding your way of life. Visit foodbazaar.com for store locations. Miggy Cabrera 0 for 3 in search of hit number 3,000. Tigers 1, Yankees nothing. Bottom 6 in Detroit. Toronto 2, Boston nothing. Top 5 in Boston. Cleveland 3, the White Sox 1. Top 6 in Cleveland, and the Twins.
Once
lead
again,
the
guys,
Royals
if I
1-0.
missed your
Bottom 2
your
in
comment,
Kansas
I'm
City.
sorry.
Right here,
Again,
Mets
there's a lot of
5,
people
Giants 1. 2 out.
talking on
We're in the last of
in the chat
sixth.
right now,
Guillorme at
so
first.
it skims through. As soon as somebody
wonder
writes
if
something, it
Guillorme might
flies
be in
up
the
when I'm
mood
trying
to
to look
run
at
here.
everybody's comment. If you really want me to see your comment and
Nimmo's such a good guy to
answer the
have leading
question,
off an inning.
just send the super chat, and it'll be easier because it highlights it. Again, you don't have to. There's no obligation, but I just don't want you to think I'm ignoring you because I'm not. It's just that the chat's flying up and down. I get it before you guys see the chat, so it's just as soon as someone types something, it goes past. It goes right from the bottom again. So where I was searching for your comment. May 14th, Jerry. Okay.
Here's the first
Cool.
pitch by Marte. Fastball low, ball 1. I remember when I was doing a TV game with Fran Healy and Ralph Kiner.
All right, guys. So
And Ralph
5-1 Mets, 2
post
outs in the
Kiner's
bottom of the
corner
6th.
afterwards
Man
in
on the
San
first,
Diego.
Nimmo at the plate.
Wanted me to go on and help Ralph with some of the things they were going to do on that show, some of the elements. So I was waiting for the game to end. It went into extra innings. We left Healy to his own devices in the booth. That's a story in itself. Here's the 1-0, and Nimmo takes low, 2-0. But so I'm watching the game in the Mets dugout, the corner of the dugout, kind of like Gelbs does now, every now and then. And Piazza hit a home run against
Thank you,
Trevor
Jerry. I'm
Hoffman,
definitely looking to
the
that.
top of whatever extra inning it was. He gets back to the dugout, and I'm telling you, Todd Pratt treated Piazza like a whack-a-mole. He was killing him, pounding him on the helmet. The 2-0 on the way, foul down the left field line out of play, 2-1. It's one thing that he didn't give Mike a concussion. It's another thing that Mike was about 6'3" when he touched home plate, and he was about 5'9" by the time Pratt was done with him. He just kept hammering away at him.
He's trying to get in the lineup.
Well, he found his way in on a couple of occasions. In fact, against Buck Showalter's Diamondbacks in the 1999 National League Division Series.
That was a big one.
Yeah, he's obviously started and hit the home run that won the series with Piazza out. 2-1 pitch. Nimmo fouls it straight back and remains 2-1.
Just out of the reach.
2-2, pardon me.
Just out of the reach of Steve Finley, that home run by Todd Pratt. Buck Showalter's Diamondbacks.
Yep. I would think the crowning moment of Todd Pratt's big league career, he win a playoff series with a walk-off home run, 55,000 people in the ballpark, and then turn around was fair play. They all
Okay, Jerry. I get what you're saying. Okay, cool. For sure.
2-2 pitch
Definitely
to Nimmo.
take a look at that. I'll definitely do
Inside
that.
ball 3.
Sure.
This guy is uncanny. He lays off the slider.
Me and my dad
And
used to
it
do
is
it a lot
full yet again
with
to
the
Brandon
Rangers
Nimmo.
in the city at Madison
So
Square
with all
Garden.
of
When the
this,
players used to
Marte has thrown
walk into
16 pitches in
the
this
to the
bottom of
Garden.
sixth. And with a 3-2 count and 2 out, Guillorme will have an automatic start from first. So Belt, the first baseman, lines up behind Luis. 5-1 New York. Guillorme will be on the move. Here comes the payoff pitch. Check swing inside, ball 4, and Nimmo draws the walk.
Oh, that's
Nimmo
cool, Jerry.
finds
That's
his way
awesome.
aboard, and that's 2 walks
All right,
in the
guys. So
inning
we
allowed
got
by
2
Marte,
walks in the
and
inning.
here
Luis
is
Guillorme goes to
Lindor.
second. Nimmo at first. The hot bat of Francisco Lindor. 2 outs. He's 3 for 3. Solo home run. 2
Get a
singles.
better
2
reaction
runs.
than that, right? Is everybody
Lindor
out
has
at
been
the
hot.
concession stands
See
or
if he can
something,
get a
looking at
2-out
their
RBI
phones?
here.
This guy's 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 singles. Well, anyway, he does something to drive in a run here or more. You'll hear the crowd. I don't know about you. I was expecting something a little bit more raucous than that.
Yeah, it's chilly.
This is not chilly. You should have been in the upper deck in Shea Stadium in the 1973 World Series.
Yeah, because they,
Right,
you know,
you
under
couldn't even
they
get your
got like
hand out of your pocket
deals
to
with
grip
some
your pen
companies
or
that
pencil to
they
keep
are
score.
promoting.
Well, it was pretty cold
That they
here
can't
in
sign because they got a contract with
2015
those companies,
championship series.
like
Those
with
first 2 games
Topps
against
or
the
whatever
Cubs.
card
As cold as
company
I felt
saying you
this
can't sign
Yeah.
unless it's our card and stuff like that.
So let's see what Lindor can do after the scoreboard prompts the fans to wake up and yell. Guillorme at second, Nimmo at first, good speed aboard. Marte taking a lot of time to get ready here. Lindor batting from the left side. Marte with a glove in front of his face. Brings the hands together. Now sets in the first pitch to Lindor. Fastball inside, backs him away. 1-0, 97-mile-an-hour sinker there from Marte. Hill overshifted slightly. A 1-0 pitch. Foul back to the screen. And that evens the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Junior Marte is listed at 6'2", 200. And if he is actually 200 pounds, it's only because he's 6 feet 2 inches tall. He's pretty slender. Originally signed by the Kansas City Royals out of the Dominican Republic. 27 years old, not a kid by baseball standards. The 1-1 broken bat roll at a third to his left. Flores up with it. Goes the short way to get the force on the sliding Nimmo, and that retires the side. No runs, no hits, 2 walks, 2 left at the end of 6. It's the Mets 5 and the Giants 1 on the WCBS Mets Radio.
All right, guys, so the Mets didn't score at that end. They're still winning 5-1 going to the top of the 7th for the Mets. Carrasco is definitely going to start the 7th. Again, I don't know if he's going to go further than that, but you never know. We shall see. If he's looking good, he feels good, maybe Buck will leave him out there and continue the dominance that he has for the first 6 innings. But he's got a 4-run lead right now. Again, guys, the Giants can easily come back in this game. So, we're happy right now. Got to be careful. The game's not over as of yet. You still got 3 more innings for the Giants to come back. And they're a team just like the Mets that can be scrappy, take some walks, get some, get a couple of hits in a row, and then, they're right back in the ball game. So the game's not over yet. It's looking good for the Mets right now because they can't touch Carrasco ever since the 2nd inning. The 3rd inning, they haven't touched him. So that's nice to see, but we got to keep it going, guys. Got to not give them any hope about coming back in this ball game. Got to shut it down, make an easy win, take the series 3 games to 4, and head to the West Coast to Arizona. Yeah, the bullpen and Cano is definitely a problem, KTU. For sure. 100%. 100%. Well, you know what? Colorado's been playing well. What are they, 7-4? They're looking pretty good. Again, I don't know how good they are, but Arizona is definitely terrible. Colorado's sticking around. I know it's only 10, 11 games into the season, but, I don't expect Colorado to be sticking around in that West Division at all, but you never know sometimes. Just never know. All right, guys, we're going to the top of the 7th. Mets lead 5-1. Here we go.
Be considered average after 6. He's at 71, and he is retired. 15 batters in a row as we begin the 7th inning, Wayne, with Brandon Crawford facing Carrasco, and the Mets up 5-1.
And Carrasco has been excellent once again. His 3rd start this season. He's been good in all of them. Brandon Crawford leads off here in the 7th. First pitch, fastball strike on the outer half, and it's 0-1. Just a bevy of soft contact today, and unlike yesterday when those balls were falling for the Giants, they haven't today. 3 hits for San Francisco and none since the 2nd. 0-1 in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. Of the hardest hit balls today, the top 10, 9 of them have been hit by the Mets. The Giants have only had 1 hard hit ball, which is any ball that leaves the bat at 95 miles an hour or harder. 1-1 to Crawford. Slapped foul to the left, 1-2. Kirk Casale flied out in the 2nd on a ball that was hit 95.7 miles an hour. That's the hardest hit ball by the Giants today. Just a ton of soft contact induced by Carlos Carrasco in this one. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brandon Crawford. Pitch Swing and a miss. Strike
Woo,
three.
what a pitch by
Changeup
Carrasco.
struck out Crawford.
He
in the
is
fourth,
just
gets him
mowing
again
him
here in the
down.
seventh.
No, they can't
Carlos
touch him.
Carrasco continues to cruise 16 in a row. Retired by the veteran starters. We come to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth, proudly presented by Bigelow
Yeah.
Tea.
That's probably, he got
Grab a mug and
75
tea proudly.
pitches
We
so
have
far.
some injury news on Steven Duggar. It was an oblique, left oblique injury that pulled Duggar, the Giants center fielder, out of this game. One out, nobody on. Flores, the batter. Pitch.
Maybe, but you know, we still got Scherzer behind the
Outside
gum too.
corner,
It's crazy.
0-1. 76
Bassett,
pitch
like,
from Carrasco. Only
If Carrasco
23
pitches
have
like
been out of the
this,
strike
this
zone.
rotation is going to be very hard to beat.
Pumping in strikes.
And a rotation like this
Mixing
is
up
very
his
hard
pitch.
to go in extended losing streaks for sure.
Signals the 0-1 inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sliders, changeups, fastball that he drops in. Just to kind of show it today, he has been really mixing his speeds and locations and pitches well in this one. 1 ball, 1 strike on Flores. Pitch. Line toward the right side, handled by sliding McNeil on a hop. Plenty of
Nice
time to
play
throw
by
out Wilbur
McNeil.
at first.
Shootout.
And now 17 in a row, retired by Carrasco. That injury update brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an
I thought
accident,
so
the
too,
game plan
frankly.
is simple.
I thought he was going to be the weak link.
InjuryLawyer.com.
It was going to be between him and Walker being the weak link. But he's proving, you know, he's still good, really good.
New York's award-winning station for breaking news. WCBS and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
First pitch to Tyro Estrada.
17 in a row for Carrasco.
Carlos
Amazing.
Carrasco has made it look easy today. And following the speed limit can be easy too. Vision Zero reminds you that speeding ruins lives. Slow down. Carrasco has struck out 7 and 6 2/3 innings. He's only thrown 79 pitches, 1-0. High and tight to Estrada, 2-0. See how far the Mets want to push Carrasco today. 82 pitches. His last start against Arizona.
Yeah, LaGreca,
Get him to 90 or so.
It makes no sense for Lugo
Goes
to be in
back
the
out to the
rotation
eighth
at any
as long as
moment.
this inning continues to go smoothly. 2-0.
He's so much
Next
more
swing on a pitch away.
valuable
There's a
to the
strike
Mets
to
in
Estrada.
the bullpen than
2
the
balls
rotation.
and 1 strike.
Even when
Top of the
the
7th,
team
Mets
needed
lead 5-1. They scored all 5 of their runs
a pitcher.
in the first 3 innings of this game. The only Giants run off the bat of Estrada, an RBI single in the second. The last Giant to reach, 2-1. Breaking ball hit in the air to left. Canna freezes for a moment, backs up a step. He's there, makes the catch. And Carlos
18 in a row, Carlos Carrasco going to the bottom of the 7th. Absolutely amazing, guys. Carlos Carrasco is feeling it today. Pitch well, first 2 starts, the third start, trying to get his first win of the year for the 2022 season, and he's doing damn well to make that happen. Amazing, guys. Again, this is the type of pitching we thought Carrasco was going to be last year. You know, obviously injuries derailed him, but he was a very good pitcher a couple of years ago. There was no doubt about it. And, you know, we expected him to be a number 2 on this team last year, and it never panned out. I mean, he's our number 4 pitcher, and he's pitching like this. I don't know if they're going to go that far, honestly. I don't know. Again, I would. Norberto, it is his first W this year. He hasn't won a game yet. He's pitched in games where the Mets won, but he doesn't have an official win yet. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Only 3 hits to the Giants, who was just spraying the ball all over the place last night. And even in the first game of the series. Nice to see, guys. Nice to see exactly what we want from this team. Continue to pitch well. This offense is going to score runs and manufacture runs. It's perfect. Again, 13, 14 games in right now. You know, you can't get overly excited, but you can be extremely happy how well this team is playing. And for all the fans of other teams, and don't get me wrong, guys, there's Yankee fans at my job. I got tons of them. We're saying, oh, you're getting too excited. Oh, it's always, you know, the Mets are April World Series champions. I'm like, no, it's not even about that. It's all good in the run, no problem. We all make mistakes. But yeah, and they were saying, oh, don't get too excited. I'm like, look, I can be excited, all right? there's years when I'm not excited about this team. I'm excited about this team. This team is 100% different and better probably since 2015, 2016. And I think this team is better than those teams that made the wild card in 2016 and made the World Series in 2015. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. So, and if you've been following my channel for a while, I'm not a very positive guy or a very optimistic guy. I'm very pessimistic with the Mets. I tell it how it is, even though people don't like to hear it. When I'm negative, I'm negative. When this team don't deserve any positivity, they're not going to get it from me. So when you hear positivity from me, they're really playing well. And you guys know I'm very frank. I'm to the point. I tell you how it is. You know, we always don't agree on it, but I feel like this team, there's something different. There's a confidence, not a cockiness, a confidence in this team that I expect them to win every time they step on the field. All right, guys, bottom of the 7th, Mets winning 5-1.
So far, Beatty spent a lot of last year in the minor leagues. As McNeil will begin things here in the bottom of the 7th. Mets are ahead 5-1. They have been since the 3rd. McNeil doubled in that 3rd inning. First pitch on the way from Beatty. And McNeil drives it toward right center field. Yastrzemski, a good jump, got there quickly and made the catch. While backpedaling toward the warning track, loud out off the bat of McNeil, 1 away.
Well, McNeil does have a double in this game, but that's a couple of balls he has squared up where he's got no reward. One that he almost hit out for a home run, which was a double, by the way. It's not like he got nothing out of that. This one allowed out.
Jeff retired, 1 away. McNeil
That's
lines
cool.
out. Now Alonso is the batter. He's 1 for 3 today. Pete had his batting average go up close to 50 points from where it was beginning the day yesterday. First pitch. Beatty fires in a strike, 0-1. Alonso is hitting .217 going into yesterday. Now he's at .264. 4 hits in the last 2 games.
I'm
one
not
today.
sure.
Facing Tyler Beatty with 1 out, nobody on.
Oh, Ken, don't worry about that. I know you will.
Ball falls low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Roberto, I agree.
Mike Yastrzemski, the right fielder, and Beatty.
It's just a different vibe around the clubhouse. Good chemistry. You got a leader in the clubhouse in Buck Showalter. You got veterans who are leaders on this team.
Beatty was
perfect.
First round pick out of Vanderbilt.
It's a good combination of players.
1-1. Curve is in there. Yeah, a little low, I guess. 2 balls, 1 strike on Alonso. Maybe just a bit inside. 2-1. 1 out, nobody on. Escobar on deck. Mets lead 5-1. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Outfield shaded toward right. Beatty downhill. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball ripped up the middle, past the diving Estrada, and into center field. Base hit for Alonso.
Yeah, exactly. Luke, Baez, Stroman.
And it is a 1-out single.
All those guys, they were just toxic around the clubhouse. And they had the cockiness like they were better than everybody else, but they really weren't.
I can tell you this, that there's a lot of new equipment here, and some of it was sort of gotten
That's exactly
into
what it
they
is,
would
Steve.
call game
Steve,
shape at the very last
100%.
minute. So I know the Mets production staff is very anxious for the team to get out of here and go away for a week.
Joe,
so they can work on the
in the
tweaks that they
lockout.
need to
Finally,
make,
Joe, I was waiting for that.
exit velo.
Our annual
Well,
daily thing.
outside,
Raphael, I'm not going live tomorrow. I'll be live on Saturday for game 2 of the Diamondback series. That starts at 8:40 or 8:10. 8 something. But I'll be going an hour before the game for pregame.
Breaking ball strike on the outside corner, 1-1. The first 25,000 fans, the 7-10 game against the Phillies, April 30th.
I agree with you,
Take home
Estefan,
a
100%.
Francisco Lindor Bobble Gnome, courtesy of New Balance. For tickets, Mets.com/tickets.
Yeah, Angel,
that's
the problem with the pitching staff or the rotation for the Yankees is that they don't go deep at all. So they're going to strain their bullpen very quickly. And those really, really good bullpen arms are going to get tired very quickly. They're going to pitch too many innings. And by July, they're going to start having problems. It's not a good situation for the Yankees. You can't have your starters going less than 5 innings or less every game. and expect your
Pregame
bullpen to come
series
through
at
every
Chase
game.
Field against
Sooner
the
or later,
Diamondbacks.
it's going to catch up to them.
David Peterson tomorrow. Probably
It's
Trevor
not sustainable.
Williams Saturday, but the Mets have not committed yet. 2-2 pitch. Curve is in there. Strike 3 called. Escobar goes down looking. And as Howie mentioned earlier, probably Scherzer on Sunday. As the Mets would want to give McGill the extra day after the doubleheader. Just trying to watch his innings a little bit.
I agree, Frankie. I agree.
Diamondbacks tomorrow.
I deal with a lot of them at work. They're very
planning to
quiet
start
lately,
Zach
though.
Gallen.
It's interesting.
It's had a tough time with Gallen at Citi Field last weekend. The Mets will see Madison Bumgarner.
Yeah,
on Sunday.
it was basically a bunch of 5-year-olds running
Pitching up for
around
Saturday.
trying to get the attention of
Trout's runner
everybody.
on
That's how it
first
was.
pitch.
That's the way it seemed to me.
Curve inside. 1 ball, no
And
strikes.
the
on
locker
Marquez.
room was
Got
so
some hits, a
divided.
couple
It
of
was
RBIs
crazy.
today.
I don't think he benched him
5-1.
because
The Mets have the lead. Bottom
running
of the 7th.
in a spot where he shouldn't have ran. I just think that Marte just needed a mental day just to, clear out his mind. I just think because
Petey ready
he
from a
felt
belt
really
tie
bad
set.
after he got thrown out. Like he was really like
It's 1-0.
distraught, like pissed off.
Canna looks at
So,
the breaking
give him a
ball.
day to
2 balls,
relax,
no
no
strikes on
worries,
Canna.
no pressure, just relax.
It's
Come
trying
back
to make
tomorrow and
this
kick some ass. But he didn't bench him
5-2
because of that.
homestand after a 5-2 road trip.
Just giving him a breather.
10 wins in their first 14.
He's pitched there. He played
Pulling
every
off
day
today.
so far.
Nobody up in
So
the Mets bullpen. Carrasco will be back out for the 8th inning. It'll be the first time a Mets starter has gone into the 8th inning this year.
exactly,
2-0.
Christian.
Canna hits a high fly ball
And that's
down
exactly
the
what's
right
going to happen
field
with the
line,
Yankees.
slicing
You
away
can't,
from
I mean,
Yastrzemski
you can't
into
have
foul
all your pitchers
territory.
going 5 innings or less
Dropping into
and
the seats, 2
expect your
balls, 1
bullpen
strike
in a
on Canna.
162-game season to continue
Carrasco
to
with a
be
very
dominant
low
because
pitch
that's
count.
what the Yankees bullpen is. It's dominant.
Not sure he's
But
broken
I mean,
a sweat out
the-
there the way that he's fired off 1,
the
2,
Yankees
3
bullpen
innings.
has pitched more innings than the
Giants have not
Yankees
had a
starters.
base runner
That's not
since
supposed to
the
happen. That's nearly impossible.
Carrasco
You
has
can't
been in
have that
full control
and make
of
it
everything
sustainable
here
and
today.
win games in the process.
5-1 Mets, 7th inning.
Yeah,
Bounce
I saw
Alonso
that,
at
Joe.
first.
The attendance was
Count on
a
Canna,
little
2
more than
balls, 1
2,000
strike.
people. Well, you know what? The fans are fed up with
Petey
it.
ready. His pitch.
I don't blame them. They either want a new
Dirt.
stadium
3 balls
or go
and
to
a strike
Vegas.
on Canna.
I don't mind flying out to Vegas for a baseball game.
Jankowski would bat next if
Oh,
Canna can
baseball
get
game
aboard.
over. All right, let's hit the slots.
Three balls, 1 strike. Petey, a big right-hander, ready from the belt. His pitch. Fastball grounded to short, easily for Crawford, who backs up to handle it. Tosses over to second, retires Alonso on the force. And the inning is over. No runs for the Mets, 1 hit. And 1 left after 7. It is the Mets 5, the Giants 1.
All right, guys. So we are going to the top of the 8th. The Mets still lead 5-1. Carrasco, we're gonna see if he's coming out for the 8th. Again, I'm not on. They didn't show nobody in the bullpen, but then they didn't really put the camera towards the bullpen. So, and I have the TV on mute because, well, then you wouldn't be able to hear me with the radio and the TV. So, but I didn't notice anybody in the bullpen. So it looks like Carrasco's coming out for the 8th. His pitch count is still very low or somewhat low. I think he has like 86 pitches, so he could go through the 8th with no problem. They're clearly going to get somebody ready in the bullpen just in case if he gets into a little bit of trouble. You don't want him to, get into a little bit of a trouble and now you got his pitch count up to 100. So we will see. But the Mets lead 5-1 going to the top of the 8th, waiting to see if Carrasco is going to come in for the top of the 8th. Exactly. Play blackjack after the game, all that fun stuff. Yeah, well, Toucan, you know what? Syndergaard didn't want to be here, so he can go lose in Los Angeles with the Angels. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. So if somebody couldn't tune in to the live stream, they can actually watch it during the replay after the stream is over. So once again, guys, the likes are not just for the live stream, it's also for the replay as well. So if you still haven't hit that like button, don't forget, hit on that like button, guys. Let's get that stream out to more people for the rest of the game or for the replay. So we're going to the top of the 8th. Carrasco is on the mound, so here we go. Let's see if he can get through it.
8th inning about to start here at
Joey
Citi Field. The
Rodriguez
Mets
is
have
warming
a
up in the
5-1
bullpen,
lead against
just
the
in case.
Giants. Mauricio Dubon leads off. Here's Howie.
All right, thank you very much, Wayne. The first pitch to the right-hand batter is a slider outside for ball 1. 8-9-1 for the Giants. 18 batters in a row retired by Carlos Carrasco. This has really been impressive. Pitch back hit on the ground to the shortstop hole. Up with it, Guillorme. Long throw pulls Alonso off the bag. And Dubon is safe. So that's the first base runner the Giants have had since Tyro Estrada singled in the only San Francisco run in the second inning. We'll see how they scored, but that's a play that really should have been made. And they are going to give Guillorme an error for the poor throw, which forced Pete to eventually come down the first
got
baseline,
84 pitches,
even though he was
so
trying to stretch.
he gets
was
out
just
of
too
this, no
far off the
problem.
bag and had to make sure to
He
smother
might
the
get the
baseball.
9th. You never know.
So an error on Guillorme. That's only the 4th error that the Mets have made this year. You know, this is their 14th game. They've only made 4 errors. So here's Casale, right-hand
That's a
batter.
great stat.
Carrasco
4
deals
errors
a
in
fastball
14
that's in
games.
for a called strike.
The
Nothing
defense
in
has
one.
improved tremendously,
Looks like the Mets
for
are going
this
to get
Mets
the
team.
bullpen up.
which was also a problem.
Right now,
All right, looks like a double play
84
ball.
pitches. Working
Around
in
the
8th inning
horn,
for
5,
Carlos Carrasco is
4,
nothing short of
3,
phenomenal.
double play.
0-1. The pitch.
Beautiful.
Swinging a ground at a third. Escobar up with it. He goes
Yippee,
to second
what's up?
one. McNeil to first. Double play.
There we go.
5-4-3. Carrasco.
Needed a double
Casale
play,
out
got
in
a
front
double
of a
play. Though.
changeup.
Around
And
the
just
horn.
like
Fist
that,
pump
2
from
outs and
Carrasco.
nobody
Yeah.
on.
Carrasco's
Boy, you gotta
pumped.
just love
Never know.
that
Carrasco
you're a
might
Mets
pitch a
fan
complete
or
game here.
anybody who has anything to do with the Mets.
86
What Carlos
pitches.
Carrasco
Gets out of
has
this.
done, not only
1,
in
2,
this
3.
game, but over his first 2 starts. But this has been
He'll be coming out for the 9th
magnificent.
for sure.
Yeah, the Giants haven't had a hit since the second inning. And even last night, the game the Giants won 5-2, they did their damage early. And the Mets bullpen and large part of that Chris Bassett hanging in to throw 6. Giants' last hit in that game last night came in the 4th inning. So here's Yastrzemski, left-hand batter, first pitch, fastball outside, ball 1.
Yep. Again, I don't know
This
if Buck's
copyrighted
going to do it,
broadcast is
but we'll
presented
see.
by authority of the New York Mets and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. A 1-0 pitch. Off the outside corner, ball 2. Let's have a left-hander. It's either Shreve or Rodriguez.
I agree,
There's
Wesley.
Rodriguez.
100%. 100%.
Okay, thank you. Joely Rodriguez is the man loosening up. But again, just 88 pitches.
Yeah,
for
that's true,
Carrasco,
Toucan.
2
I
out
haven't
in
seen the
8th,
Met do that in a
2-0.
while.
Way outside and high, ball 3. And again, given
Yeah, I remember I
his
did the fist
medical
pump with the
history
music when the
between
lockout was
his
over.
illness, last year he had a hamstring problem, which kept him out for effectively half the season.
The Yankees bat
there's
has
no
been in the
need
coma
to
all
push
year.
Carrasco any further than this, really, if Yastrzemski gets on, and that's the feeling in the Mets dugout. 3-0 on the way. That's taken for a called strike. 3-1. I mean, what's the benefit of pushing him right now? It's early in the season. He's been great today, and nothing's going to change that. Infield overshifted. The 3-1 to Yastrzemski. Swing and a drive deep to right, down the line, and it is gone off the facing of the second deck.
All right, so
That
it's a
ball
3-run
jumped
ball
off
game now.
Yastrzemski's bat the way one did the other night, but with the wind viciously
Carrasco's
and
coming out of the
vigorously
game now.
blowing it back in. This time,
Great game.
Yastrzemski
Great
knifes
performance
one
by
off the
Carrasco.
facing of the Coca-Cola corner for his first home run of the year. The Mets lead is cut to 5-2, and here comes Buck Showalter right away. Carrasco begins to get
Great
a standing
performance.
ovation while he's still on the mound.
I
Everybody
know
on
he
the
wanted
Mets
to get through
infield
the 8th, but you know
congratulates
what?
him. Showalter gives him a pat
Great
on the
performance.
shoulder. And
Great
a standing
performance.
ovation for Carlos
Bringing
Carrasco.
Joely Rodriguez in
And so
for
this
Brandon
pitching
Belt, the
change is
lefty.
sponsored by Hyundai.
Not a good call.
It's your journey. Own it with Hyundai.
Excellent
Visit your local
performance.
Hyundai dealer
2
today.
runs, 7
In the
2/3.
battle of
Can't
pitcher
complain
versus
about that,
batter,
guys.
it's the
So we got 2 outs. Joely Rodriguez is coming in for Carrasco. What a performance by by Cookie Carrasco. Absolutely great. Gave up only, let's see, 4 hits. How many strikeouts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts. Let's see. How many walks? I think he only had one. He had no walks. Nice. All right, so Joely Rodriguez is coming into the game for the Mets for Belt. To face Belt. So we will see, guys. We will see. Again, it's a save situation now going at the moment. Again, it's only the 8th, so we'll see. But a very nice fans game, a standing ovation, well deserved for Cookie Carrasco. Again, guys, this is what you got to worry about with the Giants. This Giant team is not going to sit down and roll over. It's only a 3-run lead. You know, things can happen really quickly. We all know that. We've seen leads go away quickly during this season alone, but in years past as well. So, once again, nice standing ovation from the fans to Cookie Carrasco. Joely Rodriguez is coming into the game to face Brandon Belt with 2 outs. Mets lead 5-2, just a 3-run lead now. At the moment, it's standing as a safe situation if it stays this way going to the 9th. Debo's going to get traded to the Jets, in my opinion. Guillermo didn't throw it well and made the error for the Mets to put the runner on. All right, guys, so we're coming back right now.
Visit perfectingtheair.com today. So at 5-2, unless the Mets extend the lead, if they were to keep it at 5-2 and then take it into the bottom of the 8th inning and extend it then, right now it's a safe situation for an incoming pitcher, which means that they'll probably get Edwin Diaz up in the 9th inning.
Exactly.
By rights, Yastrzemski should have 2 home runs in this series. He only has 1, but both balls we described were loud. Here's Belt, takes a fastball for a called strike, 0-1. Brandon Belt today 0 for 3. Joely Rodriguez making his 6th appearance, 4 1/3 innings. He's given up 5 earned runs. One of the problems there, he's walked a couple. Outfield straight away, the 0-1. Fastball over, a called strike. It's 0-2 to Belt. Brandon Belt is struck out, grounded the second, pitcher covering, grounded the first. Just a beautiful line on Carrasco. 7 2/3 innings, allowing 4 hits and 2 runs, both earned. No walks, 7 strikeouts. 0-2 pitch, low outside, 1-2. He hit a batter, and he allowed a home run. Carrasco on the verge of winning for the first time because his first 2 starts resulted in no decisions. And if he holds on, Mets hold on, and he gets the win, he would be 10 from 100. That means something to him. Tell you why after this 1-2 pitch. Swinging a little pop-up, back behind short, Escobar back for it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. Carrasco very proud of the fact that he needs those, hopefully, for the Mets. Just 10 wins after this one to become the 8th Venezuelan-born pitcher to get to 100 big league wins. A run on a hit.
All right, guys, so Giants got a home run by Yastrzemski, 5-2 Mets. Going to the bottom of the 8th to see if the Mets can score another run or 2, get a little bit more insurance. If not, it'll be a safe situation for Edwin Diaz to get the 10th win of the season for the New York Mets. Yeah, the Mets only have, now it's 5 errors in 14 games, which is not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. And most of those were in the first 2 series of the year. A couple of them were Alonso. But once again, guys, going to the bottom of the 8th, Mets lead 5-2. At the moment, it's a safe situation coming in for Diaz unless the Mets score another run. We always like insurance runs. We know how quickly it can get away from the Mets, and the problem last year, they gave up a lot of leads last year. This year, they already gave up 2 leads this year, which cost them games. So let's hope that doesn't come down to it, and the Mets take care of damn business, take 3 out of 4, and comfortably sit on the airplane for a few hours and get to Arizona to play a 3-game set starting tomorrow, which we should take full advantage of against the terrible Arizona Diamondbacks. Once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. And if you're new to the channel, say what's up in the chat and hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Once again, guys, super chats are appreciated. Donations to the channel are appreciated as well. If you want to become a member of Talking Mets and Rob, all you got to do is click on that join button below. If you're on your phone, look at the chat box. There's a $sign there. Click on it. There's a join button for becoming a member. Different types of members get different types of perks. So if you want to become a member, let me know. And just click on that join button, and you can choose which one you want to be. So we're going to the bottom of the 8 guys. Mets leading 5-2. Here we go.
Facing Travis Jankowski. And the first pitch to the left-hand batter, taken low, ball 1. It's the bottom third of the Mets order. And the Mets get Edwin Diaz up and throwing in their bullpen. They'll have at least a 3-run lead going to the 9th. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball fouled straight down. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count on the broadcast.
Well, they got it right. Perfect sequence. I think that was from the interview room. Here's the 1-1. And a breaking ball to Jankowski, 2-1. Speed Report is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, the official freight carrier of the Mets Radio Network. Learn more at odfl.com. Old Dominion.
I agree, Todd. Very big double play. That would have been some trouble right there.
Jankowski takes a fastball on the inner half for a called strike. It's 2-2. And Jankowski always figures into a speed report. He was aboard in the 2nd inning after reaching on a fielder's choice. And they played hit and run. Guillorme with a perfectly executed single. 2-2 pitch fouled off the protective netting near the Giants dugout. It remains 2-2. And Jankowski got to third easily. He's got great wheels. And long flowing hair. That blonde hair comes down his neck to the point where it actually makes contact with a couple of the letters that spell out his name on the back of his uniform. 2-2 breaking ball is outside. The curve missed, and it's full to Jankowski.
I agree, Frank.
Said that he kind of looks
One
like
more
Jerry Blevins wearing the Syndergaard wig.
I'd be happy with that. Because at least a grand slam doesn't beat us.
I'll tell you one thing that Blevins and Jankowski have in common. Payoff pitch, fouled straight back to the screen. They are both really nice guys. I mean, Jerry Blevins became the favorite of a lot of us, really, as soon as we got to know him with the Mets. He was just that engaging and friendly and intelligent and insightful and great guy to talk to. And Jankowski's out of that same mold. Payoff pitch, down and in, ball 4.
Nice at bat by Jankowski taking that walk.
It's going to try to pick Edwin Diaz's pocket here and yank a save situation away from him. They score a run. That would be the case. And here is Guillorme, who's 1 out of 2 with a walk.
For a team that's about to win its 10th game, their closer only has 1 save.
Well, in a way, that's a good thing. You know, they've got a great run differential, do the Mets. And so,
Frank, that's the Mets motto right there.
Save on the table.
I don't feel comfortable or at ease until the game is over.
Coming into this game,
you take a deep breath when the game's over.
Plus 26 run differential. It is no longer the best in the game as it was a couple of days ago. The Dodgers are a plus 32, but you get the idea. 1-0. Long set. Now the pitch. Guillorme bunts it hard past the mound, or almost past the mound, built up with it, flips to first, not in time.
Nice bunt base hit by Guillorme. First and second, nobody out. Here we go.
That ball had a lot of backspin on it. And as Guillorme bunted, it looked for all the world like it was going to get past the mound. But give Tyler Beede credit. He made a tremendously quick and athletic play to get off the mound, get to the ball. And at the same time, although it was Belt who wound up getting to the ball, Beede had to reverse course and get to the bag. He barehanded the throw, but he just couldn't get to the bag in time. But you got to give Beede some credit right there. That ball looked for all the world like it was past the mound. I don't know if Belt is the one who called him off of it. It almost looked like there might have been a little confusion there. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to credit Guillorme with a terrific bunt, too.
Yeah, great bunt by Guillorme. And Beede fielded that ball. His only play would have been to try to beat Guillorme to the bag himself. Belt was going to get the ball, too.
You got to keep shaving
Beatty
it.
tried to tag Guillorme with the bare hand after he caught the pass from Belt, but had no chance.
That's what it looked like, too. Flip on the option. So here's Nito.
No, not after he ends it in
He
Todd.
squares. He bunts foul
Diaz is
up
good
the
to go.
first baseline, and that bunt clobbered the catcher, Kurt Casale. He went down in a heap. He's back up, but he's in a little bit of pain, and here comes the Giants trainer. Casale just going back into a crouch now behind home plate, but not waiting for a pitch. He's waiting for the pain to subside.
Well, if they had that bing-bong sound effect that you hear at the Knicks games, this would be a good time for it, I think.
You know, I have to confess, I haven't heard that. I watch hockey when I'm down in Florida.
Yeah, I understand. It was new this year.
The only bing-bong in a Ranger game is on the ice, big boy. Well, anyway, Casale appears to be okay. Or as Phil Esposito once said, bingo, bango, bungo. He was describing some play that resulted in a goal. I don't know what Casale was feeling a moment or two ago, but
Hey guys, first and second, nobody out. Tomas Nito up.
Right now,
5-2 Mets, bottom of the 8th.
Receive a pitch from Tyler Beatty. Mets 5, Giants 2. Jankowski at second, Guillorme at first, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning where the Mets looking for a little more insurance. The corners pitch.
Bunt through
Tomas
Nito.
Nito, the batter.
Interesting.
He squares early. The corners charge. The 0-1 bunted hard to third. Flores up with it. Fires to third. They get the force play as Crawford covered, and Jankowski is called out. So a 5-6 put out of Jankowski at third as Nito just bunted the ball a little bit too hard. Basically did what the Giants wanted him to do, bunted right to the third baseman. So one man out as the Giants executed defensively. Runners remain at first and second. Jankowski out 5-6. Guillorme advances to second. And the base runner at first is Nito. Back to the top of the order, and Brandon Nimmo. We'll keep you posted on Miguel Cabrera.
Still first and second.
I think they walked
and
him
a pass ball.
Well, look, it's a close game. The game comes
Gets
first.
Guillermo over to third.
Sitting on 29.99. There's Nimmo, first pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, rolls up the first base line, taking off at third and getting in there standing without a throw is Guillorme. Tomas Nito decided to hold on at first. So, Guillorme takes third on a wild pitch. Runners now at the corners with one out.
All right, first and third, one out. Brandon Nimmo up. Let's get that insurance run, guys.
Nimmo today is grounded to short, fly to left, grounded out to first, pitcher covering, and drawn a walk.
Honestly, Dara, I have no idea what team anymore.
So the middle infielders are going to give themselves a chance to try to turn two, but they're still about 3/4 of the way up, not all the way in. Runners lead from the corners, one out. 5-2 Mets in the 8th. The pitch. Nimmo hits it in the air to right. That'll get at least one home. Yastrzemski.
Here's that insurance run.
It's off the base of the fence. Scoring easily from third is Guillorme. And Nito stops at second as that ball is played in quickly. So Brandon Nimmo gets credit for a single, a run batted in. The Mets have pickpocketed Edwin Diaz. The save situation comes right out of his pocket. It is, though, 6-2 New York now. Good job by Yastrzemski in getting that ball in quickly because it did when it hit the base of the
Got that insurance run we needed. First and second, one out.
So 6-2 New York.
Should be second and third, one out, but
now Francisco Lindor has had a big day with 3 for 4, including a homer. So now Lindor. Batting left-handed. Beatty delivers. Swinging a high pop foul outside third. A long run for Wilmer Flores over by the tarp. And it hits right in that little camera well behind the tarp and bounces back.
Yeah, I don't know what Nito was doing. He should have been halfway. I mean, Yastrzemski was going back. He could have been on second base waiting. And if as soon as he seen the ball drop, he should have been at least on third. No problem. But you know, we got the insurance run to see if we can get another one.
Nothing in one to Lindor, who's made the Giants pay quite often in this series.
Lindor has
Francisco
definitely
hitting
been clutch this
314.
year.
He's got 4 homers, 10 RBIs, complete turnaround from his start of a year ago. 1 out, the 0-1. Breaking ball high and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tomas Nido, the runner at second, with Nimmo at first. Nido has kind of played it conservatively in this inning. First and second, he did not take off for second base on what was a wild pitch. The 1-1 broken bat roller to the right side, waiting on it. Estrada, he's got it, throws to first just in time to get Lindor.
All right, second and third, 2 outs.
And the
McNeil
runners move up, so there are 2 men away. Nido takes third there.
Diaz is coming into the game no matter what, guys.
And now 2 in scoring position.
It's not a safe
with 2
situation
out
anymore
Jeff
for
McNeil.
Diaz.
McNeil, a left-hand batter. Beatty, a right-handed pitcher. You've got Alonso behind McNeil, who's a right-handed hitter, but Pete's got 2 hits today. So it looks like they'll pitch to McNeil. That's about it. The Giants 12-4. They lead 6-2. And Beatty, the right-hander, deals. McNeil swings, lines 1 to second, caught by Estrada, side retired. Not a vicious line drive, a little on the softer side, and that gave Estrada time to move to his left and pick it off. And the Mets are done in the 8th, but they do add a run. There were 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2. And at the end of 8 at Citi Field, the Mets 6, the Giants 2 on the WCBS Mets Radio Network. Driven by your
All right, guys, so Diaz is coming in. Mets lead 6-2. They got that insurance run that we were talking about, and we needed that. A grand slam can only tie, not put them in the lead. So I always like that, getting that insurance run. The Mets had a huge problem with that last year, trying to get that insurance run, and it hurt them in a couple of games. And now the Mets get that one insurance run. And listen, when it's a 3-run lead, you always want to get that 4th run, so a grand slam can't beat you, can only tie you. So once again, guys, Mets lead 6-2, going to the top of the 9th. Edwin Diaz coming on the mound to close out the game for the Mets to take the series 3-4, and to give the Mets the 10th win of the season. But it is not a safe situation. But more importantly, he needs to shut it down with no issues, get this game over with, take 3 out of 4, and head on the plane to Arizona. There you go, Ava. All right, so, it's been risky with Diaz in years past. When it's a non-safe situation, he has trouble for some reason. Let's see. He's been pitching well this year. Let's see if he can continue that. Ava and Levy says, Mets versus Angels World Series. Mets in 6. You heard it here. Your lips to God's ears, Ava and Levy. All right, the trumpets are out for Edwin Diaz. Frankie says, Ava, Mets in 7 over the Blue Jays. All right, guys, so we're going to the bottom of the night. Edwin Diaz on the mound. Let's see if the Mets can close it out and get the 10th win of the season. Let's go, Mets.
That's a tribute to what the Mets have done offensively over the better part of the first 13 games that they've played this year. This, of course, being the 14th. They just keep grinding out at-bats and finding ways to keep the line moving, as they say. And that has been such an impressive part
Estefania with the blue heart.
In juxtaposition to the struggles they had with those
the
situations
honorable
last
Edwin
season.
Diaz.
So here's Darren Ruff to lead off. First pitch, fastball down the
The
middle.
heartbreaker,
Strike,
Edwin
0-1.
Diaz.
Joely Rodriguez faced one batter in relief of Carlos Carrasco, and he popped up Brandon Belt to end the top of the 8th. 0-1 pitch, low outside. It goes all the way to the backstop. Slider from Diaz, and the count 1-1. Big pitching story for the Mets again today. Carlos Carrasco, 7 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a slider. He wasn't even close. That pitch down and away and well off the plate. Ruff waved at it. So, Looking fastball. No time to adjust. 1-2 the count. Diaz ready to go. Here it comes. And it's a little bit high, the slider. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fans thought it had enough of the strike zone from up here. It looked like it might have been up. That's what Alfonso Marquez said. Ball 2.
Gamecast looked like a strike.
2-2 the count. Diaz deals. Check swing, foul ball.
That's one, baby.
The Mets catcher Nito for strike 3. So Diaz gets the strikeout anyway. 1 up, 1 down. Chuck Peterson coming up.
9 strikeouts already for Diaz and 5 in the 3rd innings this year, picking up right where he left off.
You mentioned Carrasco did not walk anybody today. So he has thrown 18 in the 3rd innings and walked only 2 batters. First pitch to Chuck Peterson, lined in the air to left, pretty much right at Canada.
All right, 2 down, guys. Here we go. One more out.
And there were 2 men away. Diaz
Get up.
has
Let's
the
go.
first 2. And the Giant hopes are left to Brandon
There we go.
Crawford, who is 0 for 2 and was hit by a pitch.
Go. Fans are up on their feet at Citi Field, and you hear them.
Edwin Diaz pitched the 9th inning of what was a tie game with the Giants in Game 1 of the doubleheader on Tuesday. This, again, is not a save situation, but the crowd is treating it like it's a playoff game. First pitch.
Fans allowed.
High in the air by Crawford down the left field line, slicing foul and out of play. The count.
Let's go
0-1.
Mets chance at Citi Field right now.
28,760, lively from the beginning. They've been treated to terrific performances by, in particular, Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco, and the Mets this close to winning 3 out of 4 from the Giants. The 0-1 is high, a fastball 1-1, and that one registers at 100 miles an hour.
This fan base doesn't suffer fools, and it seems like they are already understanding the sense that this team might actually bring some playoff games here.
A 1-1. Swing and a miss and a hard slider. Down
One more
and
strike.
in.
Here we go.
1-2. Diaz protecting the lead. Brought to you by the law office of
Victory
Richard M. Kenny,
call.
New York's #1 personal injury law firm. These people are stoked. 1-2 to Crawford. Diaz deals. In there. Strike.
Put it in the box.
Called a fastball. What a series for the New York Mets.
There we go, guys. Put that music going. Here we go. There we go, guys. Mets 6-2 win. Take the series 3 games to 2. 10-4 are our New York Mets. First place in the NL East right now. Showing Major League Baseball that the Mets are the real deal right now. Early on in the season, Mets lead win 6-2. Edwin Diaz shut down 1-2-3. Nice performance by the Mets. This is the type of game I wanted. Something that wasn't too worrisome. Got a nice amount of runs. Took care of business. This was an important game, like I said before the game, guys. Put it in the books. Mets 10-4. Great game by the Mets all around. Pitching with Carrasco. Clutch hitting by the Mets offense. And Edwin Diaz shut it down for the 6-2 victory. So once again, guys, New York Mets in the series, East versus West showdown, took the Giants down 3-4. Very tough series for sure. The Mets really had a fight with the Giants to get those 3 wins for sure. But it was nice to see another test for the New York Mets. First, it was the Phillies in the second series of the year. Now, this 4-game set test against the Giants. The Mets have won every series. The first 4 series of the year, the Mets won every one of them, guys. So that is exactly what you can't ask for anything more if you're a New York Mets fan. And we can continue on our way to Arizona for 3 games, and we better take care of business. Sweep those Diamondbacks. Let's get 3 wins. Let's go to St. Louis 13-4. But 1 game at a time, guys. Great performance all around by the New York Mets. 6-2. Once again, guys, really appreciate everybody's support for the entire season so far. Keep on coming back for more. The next live stream during the game will be Saturday at 7 p.m. for Mets versus Diamondbacks, 7 p.m. for the pregame, 8 o'clock for the actual game. Once again, guys, appreciate all the support. Everybody tuning in today. Let's go, Mets, guys. Have a good night. 10-4 New York Mets. First place, New York Mets. Have a good night, guys. I will see you on Saturday. Let's go, Mets. Have a good night, guys.